Welcome to the Shelf Help Show.
Shelf help motherfuckers.
Oh, that might be a fun show. We're both in a mood.
Let's see. I made something right before I connected with you, and it's a little it's a video. It's a show. Welcome, motherfuckers.
Wow, that was busy. Woo, that was a lot.
Dad bod, biker beard, Jeffrey with a G, you know me, and I got Mama Fox over to my left. I think my left. This is my right. That's my right. I'm whatever. You're there. Hi.
Next to you. I'm just next to you.
She's next to
Hi.
me. Next to me. So what do you think?
It was busy. She's like, take
busy.
everything that you've ever made for Shelf Help, just like shoved it together. No, it was awesome. It was great.
It was kind of a cool snapshot.
Yeah, it
just
was.
I was going through pictures and I was thinking the same thing that I always think, which is I need some consistency with show opening. I've been a little more consistent with show closing, like what's the show about, but I probably should do that in the beginning also. And then I forget that we collectively have spent so much time making things and we do it once and then we walk away.
Right.
So I thought, what if I could find some of those things and then just put them all into one big 3 minute 46-second collage of effort, because the effort's
Yeah.
there, the follow
Oh,
through stuff.
absolutely.
The effort's always there. It's just like squirrel. Hey, I made this. What do you guys think? We'll put it on the fridge. And then I'm like, cool. Hey, where's the fridge? We don't have a fridge. We just said fridge for years. But this whole time I thought everything was fridge.
Yep.
We just
Squirrel,
tell you because we're like,
duck,
thanks.
goose, llama, pigeon, penguin. That's kind of the level where we're at this point.
Hey, guess what? I spent hours making this thing. Like, yeah, what is it? I'm like, I don't. I saved it somewhere. I don't know.
I'd love when you do that. I made this thing, but I have no idea where it's at. So maybe
Yeah.
later I'll find it. It's like,
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure
Consider.
by the time I was actually done with it, because it was so fucking intensive, that it's all save as, and I'm like, and I just hit random fucking letters on the keyboard. Yeah, I think it's a ASDFWEKX. I'm not sure.
oh my God.
You know how many times I have to save shit and just like type in left
Yeah, you
hand?
showed us one day. You showed us one day.
I wasn't kidding.
One of these days, you're going to let me on Zoom and you're just going to let me have control of your computer and I'm going to rename all of your shit like correctly.
You can have it. It's all you. What do I need? You just want my identity or your own? I'm over it at this point. My God.
Well, got my glasses today, like I said, so I will
Yeah.
what is today? I don't even know what today is. Today's Tuesday. Today's only Tuesday. Why does it
30th
feel
of
like
August?
it feels like it should be like our Saturday show? Like we should be ending the week,
Shouldn't
not
we?
just starting it.
3 weeks of hypomania will do that to you. So
Ooh.
on there. Lithium Dreams. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I've learned so in my group I do Mondays on in person. So I sat in the corner with my phone doing my paint by numbers thing so that I didn't randomly interject stupid comments like I am known to do. So I
Lash out
behaved myself.
for debating.
Right? The
Yeah.
fuck
Are you
does that
fucking
mean? Like,
Right. Oh
So
no,
for
I'm
2
still
weeks-
depressed. Start mocking people.
it would be so easy. It would be like, oh, so
Missy,
for 2
would you
weeks
like
I've
to go? Missy, would you
No.
like to go? Yeah, of course. Thanks.
Is it my
Bye.
fucking turn yet?
My name's Missy. I don't really have anything to share today except for Jesus Christ, guys, come up with new stories. Fuck. Get some new trauma in your life because it's old. It's fucking old.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Grandpa touched your pee 45 years ago. We get it. We get it. Settle it. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, right?
Trust me, there's more broken than you than that.
Yeah. That was
Like-
just the start.
Like, what? What? Is she our new
Hmm.
therapist? Well, fucking reality check.
I mean, yeah, because I always thought I had something to say, but then I would just sit there like this, and literally we went to the back room, a small room, because I had a birthday party. We do it at the Round Table Pizza, and it was lots of kids and really loud. So we went to the smaller room. So
Round tables in TNT.
no, it's UC up by La Jolla.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, just before the 5. So we're in the smaller room, and I kind of went in last because I usually am like the first one to jump in. I start dragging tables around, and I'm like, there's like 7, 8 big, guys. Why am I the one dragging tables and chairs around? So I just kind of hung back,
Right.
and let them do it today. First time ever.
Wow, look at you giving up control.
I know. Just because I really didn't fucking do it.
Next thing you're gonna tell me that you slept for 8 hours and you only
Oh,
got
God,
to-
no.
Okay.
No.
All All right, the world is still turning the way it should, so that's good.
Right. Yeah, no. Try an hour and 45. Like, yeah.
Good. Okay, so we're the same thing.
We're good, yeah. And by the time I got in there into the smaller room, the table was full. So I literally sat in the corner and all I could think was, no one puts baby in a corner except for me. Except for me.
Nice.
Because I'm putting myself in a timeout
Right.
corner.
Self-imposed. Johnny will
Yep.
rescue you when it's time.
Yeah, exactly. So I had my sunglasses on because my sunglasses are prescription.
Mhm.
So I can't see my phone without them, and I didn't get these till today. So I literally sat in the corner of this room last night with my feet up on another chair in my little short shorts and my tank top or my t-shirt. It says whatever it says about being just as surprised as everyone else when I open my mouth or by what comes out of my mouth. And I'm like this with my sunglasses on, and I'm just sitting like this for 2 hours. I did occasionally comment, but I made sure I went last so that it was appropriate. And I knew that it was really worth something saying. I think I only commented twice. But yeah, I was just like, where's the fucking number 27? Goddamn number 27.
Look at
Instead
her.
of
She's
saying-
too cool for school.
I was.
She's showing up for group with her shades on. Look,
Wearing
guys,
my
we all
sunglasses
have
at
coping
night.
mechanisms. That's right. So I can see what?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Adamant?
It
Who is
was. I don't
it?
know.
Highway, my son. Corey.
Corey
Corey.
Haim, Corey Feldman.
Nope.
Those are the two
Corey Hart.
actors.
Corey Hart.
Corey Hart.
I wear
always
my
do Feldman and Haim
sunglasses
first.
at night, so I can. Yeah.
What is it? See you
See
in my
The visions in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a voyeur, and he likes to stand outside the house and masturbate. So
Uh-huh.
there was a
Keep
court
him
order, and he said, "Can I make a song instead of doing community service?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we want to make you rich."
Right. And I've got on my trippy ass shirt today.
Trippy ass shirt. I see that.
Trippy ass
Yeah,
shirt.
that's a little upsetting. I like it. I like it.
You don't need to see the bra. What's going on here?
No, we do. We do.
I swear I know how to dress myself most days.
Mm.
Obviously, just not today. I don't know what's going on here.
I work from home, so I'll realize when somebody needs to do a video chat. I send them the team viewer, which I can do without having video on me. I can just comment to the computer and take over. But then someone's like, they send me like Google Meet. I'm like, oh, they want to see me. Fine. And I look down, I'm like, I'm wearing a tank top. And that's it. Probably should find some clothes. Like
Probably.
BRB, LOL. Like, did I wear this shirt yesterday? I don't remember.
You just keep a button-up shirt on the back of your chair, hanging on the back of your chair, and then just
Yeah.
like pull it over and slip it on.
I want to get one like a Snuggie that just has a collar on it. You know, just be like,
Oh, there you go.
in my
Yeah.
blanket. Like, hey guys, hey, how's it going? Then I realized like I haven't combed my hair. And I'm like, what is that smell? Is that my balls? Oh,
Whoa.
I should probably take a shower.
I
And I'm
like
like,
the halo.
I got this hand sanitizer right here with like a mousse. I'm just like, oh, stings. Oh, there's a cut.
Ooh,
Oh,
burn.
What are you doing? I'm like,
Burn.
nothing. Nothing. I'm trying to be sanitary on the napkin because I think I'm fine. Ooh. How do you get so many cuts in your balls? Stings.
Straight razor. Don't use the straight razor down there.
Oh, I have it right here too.
Oh, Lord.
It's got a new blade in it.
Oh. Oh,
Some rubbing
no.
alcohol in there.
Oh.
All right.
Oh,
Oh.
that's not funny. Oh,
People are like, you're like a prop comic. You have all this shit at your desk. So you can just make jokes while you're working. I'm like, you have no idea what I do when the camera's off.
right.
I'm a one-man band. I entertain myself tremendously. I'm like, I'm Batman. I'm anonymous. I'm a man.
Yeah. So people in
Oh,
my group know I do a podcast. Only a few have Kyle seen it. I think Lyle, I don't know if Lyle's actually watched or not, but
did you say
um
Lyle?
Lyle, yeah, I don't know if he's
Kyle and
watched it or not.
Lyle?
Kyle and Lyle, yeah. Um, but another guy was saying, oh, he wants to do this podcast, and we're standing around, and he says, he made like a group chat, and I'm in it, and he's like, we should do this podcast, and it's group's ended, and we're just sitting around chit chatting, and he says, we'll just sit around on Zoom, and we'll just like start talking, and like whatever somebody will say something, and it'll be interesting, and then we'll like talk about that topic, and then like we might pull up, like somebody can find a video, like a YouTube video or something on it, or like maybe there's like a book, or like we'll just talk about whatever for like a couple hours. And I went, dude, I do that 3 nights a week. And he was like, wait, what? I said, I do, that's what we do. We like
Yeah.
tried to have a regimen of these are the things we're going to talk about, and it never works. We just, whatever the fuck we talk about, we talk about.
Yeah.
He's like, he actually goes like, I want to be on. I was like, no, you can create your own. I'll come say hi, but no, we have our own. I have my own with my boys. Like, that's just how it is.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
he was
funny.
like,
I thought he was talking about our format.
no, he was saying that's what he wants to do. He wants to do
Oh,
something like that and have me on there and maybe a couple other people. And I was just standing there listening, and I'm like, that's what I do 3 nights a week. And he
yeah.
was like so butthurt about it. He was like, no, like that's my idea. I'm like, we already do it. It's exactly
Yeah.
what we
And then
do.
one of the guys can like make himself into an icon.
Right? Yeah.
The guy with the ego. And then like,
No,
you know,
who would that be? The real estate.
the real estate developer guy.
I could be my own background.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
Wait, how do I disappear? How do I disappear? I can't disappear.
Oh, you got too much
I
light.
won't. Yeah, I know.
Oh, this
So
was
yeah,
nice.
that was
Subtle.
what, Halloween 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But none
I
of
got
my
that.
other backgrounds are on there. It's weird. One time I log in and all the backgrounds are there, and the next time none of them are there. That's sure I'm paying attention. Yeah.
Can't get out of the frame.
I know, right? It's a pain in the ass. Half the time, like half my face disappeared. I'm like, where'd I go? And when I want to go, can't. I would so know that that's not live.
I'm just thinking. Oop.
No.
So imagine you're human resources and you're talking about something not that interesting, but I'm trying to look like how I would normally.
Right.
Oh,
No.
eyebrows up, yeah, chin, eyebrows, and then occasional nod. Looking around.
Till you start repeating everything.
Oh, okay. Okay, am I gonna write something? I wonder. Should write something. Little nod, yeah. Oh,
Oh.
not so much. Yeah, then I gotta look like I'm falling asleep because I was. And don't raise your hand though; that'll fuck stuff up. Oh, smile, a little smile.
That's. But you know, your luck would be when they say something that whatever that you're doing in the background there is like absolutely inappropriate at the exact wrong moment.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if I wanted to capture real life, then I would have done that. But
we're gonna have to write you up, and you're like,
Well, they decided, the HR director decided that she really loved me after, orientation or during orientation, because she gave us a project, and project to do like, I don't know, company, what do you call it? Company morals, company values, that sort of thing. And I got ethics and something else. So being the quick podcast stream host that I am, it's really awkward to have me staring at myself. In the back of my head. I don't like it. So, two-headed monster. I went and stole some
Oh my
YouTube
God.
videos and I put together a presentation in about 90 seconds that just fucking destroyed everybody. So she's like, so who would like to go first? I was like, yeah, if nobody else volunteers, I'll go. I don't mind. Like, okay. So you're going to present what? I said, I'm going to present business ethics and excellence. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm going to share my screen. And then, yeah. As soon as my shit started playing, which is again mostly shit I just stole off the interwebs that somebody else did. Like, here's a 60-second presentation on ethics. I'm like, perfect. Why reinvent the fucking wheel? Makes no sense to me. People immediately, you can hear them clickety clackety because they were like, oh, we better work.
Oh, this was real. Oh,
yeah,
oh,
like,
he
oh,
just
this
stepped up the
guy,
bar.
yeah, this guy just sent it. Did you send it? He sent it. Yeah, he sent it. So I was like, yeah, no problem. It's real quick. Here we go. They're like, did you have you had a tag and everything? I'm like, well, just a little quick audio or video editing, no big deal. And then like the guy who was supposed to be on my team, who I pinged him during lunch, like, hey, you want to talk about what we're gonna do? Are we just gonna do the same thing? Anything? Hello? Okay then.
Oh.
So I did the first two things, and then I was like, well, I guess he's gonna do the next two because, well, I did my two, and yeah, his whole presentation was, well, like Jeff said, well, like a video, and that was actually really good. I wanted to, and he actually kept up for having to follow a dickhead like me who is a show off, complete know-it-all asshole.
At least you do know it.
Stepped in and he was like, well, as Jeff said in this one video, and I thought this was actually very poignant, was this, and then he was supporting what I had shown as if we had collaborated. And I was like,
right.
So then I pulled up some video clips because I'm like, Jamie, I was like, Jamie, pull that up while he was talking about this thing. And then I played some audio at the end of his that was some soundbite that completely supported our thing together. And then they were like, everyone was like, fucking
wow.
standing ovation.
Nice.
I was like, that's funny. And she was like, Jeffrey, that was really good. I feel really bad for anybody who has to follow him and whatever the guy's name was. For him and so he goes, that was really well done. This is not your first time. I'm like, actually, I have to be honest with you. It's only my third job in 23 years. So I've never had to do a video presentation on new hire day. But I used to be the trainer, so I made other people do it.
And who would like to go next?
Yes, I called it. Just like during my job interview. Hey guys, we're about 90 minutes into we had an hour set aside. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up at the bottom of the hour, just out of respect for everybody's time. So I have a question over each of you, if you wouldn't mind. I think we can wrap it up by then. Are you guys open to that? Yes, we are, sir. Yes, sir. You. All right. That concludes our meeting. So next steps. We're going to get together and we're going to discuss the candidate. And we're going to, if we have any other questions, we'll reach out. If you have any other questions, please do. Time frame, probably about 48 to 72 hours before we make our decision, but we will get back to you with feedback nonetheless. They're like, thank you, sir. I'm like, you guys are welcome. Have a great day. Click.
Oh my God.
Guys, my ego took over. I don't know what happened. They're like, we really like him. This guy's got his shit together. I'm like, I don't really. I'm pretty sure I don't. I might have some of my shit together. I don't know which shit.
You have a whole bunch of shit and you have it all in one generalized place, but sometimes they don't exactly go linear.
Well, it's handy when you have 5 people. When you're interviewing 5 people, I didn't have to be that linear.
Right.
Go 5 different directions. Just hope one of them followed me.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in life? That's correct. Yeah, I don't even know how I got on this topic just now. I quit. Oh yeah,
Whew.
virtual background. I like this one.
Just so y'all know, we have, yeah, I know you like that one. We're still missing our transplanted devil tonight, but he will be back Thursday, he assures us. So
Oh yeah, he's in Las Cruxes,
Las
New
Cruces.
Mexico. He's trying to break bad, and he's trying to set up a methamphetamine empire. We said it's already been done, sir. He's like, but has it been done by a white bald guy who's middle aged? And I said, yes.
Actually,
He said, but
that
did he
would have
have a
been more
cool hat? Yes, he
and,
did.
and a
Cool
cup.
hat. Yeah, Heisenberg
cup.
had a cool hat.
I don't know. I've never watched the show.
Was it a leather cowboy hat? I'm like, yo, no. It's gonna be a leather cowboy hat. You fucking do it.
With one of his cups. Gotta have a cup.
Gotta have a cup. Video effects.
I'm
So-
staying with my borrowed Halo, man. I'm loving it.
So what's going on in the news these days? Have we heard any news recently?
I did not. Usually
Happy
I would have been I would have normally been sitting in the nail salon today and got my fill up, but they didn't have room for me today, so I didn't get to go. My mom went instead.
Fuck your mom.
I know, right? She didn't get her
I've
toes
never met
done.
her, but
Haha.
maybe.
No, you cannot have a video or a website of, with her.
Please.
I fucked Mama Fox's mom. No, 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 no.
I fuck Mama Fox's mama.com. She fell asleep.
Oh,
She's a happy slave. Yes, master.
but
That's
you
not
never.
appropriate.
You started
What?
the other. Was it Saturday? Whatever day. I don't know. I'm so confused. You were going to show me how to get a website, and I know you started, and then like we got so far off topic. I don't even know where we ended up.
I'm gonna show you
And
how to make a website.
no, just get. I like want one with what I want it to say. I want
Oh yeah,
mamafoxstudios.com.
how to buy a domain.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and so like the next morning, I was kind of just running through it in my head. I don't sit all night and rethink about the show like I used to, but I kind of like hit some highlights in the morning, and I was like, wait, we never got there.
We lifted that one. We sure did.
Yep. It made me laugh though. That's okay. It was worth it.
We could do that. I'll show you guys how to get a domain, and you wanna
I don't know. I always try to sit here before our shows and go, I need to come up with a topic. I need a
Yeah.
subject. I need to do a little bit of research. Like find something to talk about.
and then what happens?
Something always happens. I keep reading or I have a video going or so, and then it's like and my phone goes off and I like, oh fuck, what time is it? Oh shit. It's you going, are we gonna play tonight? And I'm like,
Do you want to play a game?
yeah.
You're like,
I'm like,
yes, I do.
yeah, sure, but I have no topic, so I don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about. We always find something though.
Oh,
Oh.
I have something for you guys. Something fun, and by fun I mean disturbing, which is fun. So we know the CDC came out and said, hey, we mishandled this whole pandemic thing.
Right.
We're gonna fire a bunch of people. So yeah, that's a problem. We also mishandled this whole everybody just go ahead and get these shots and for based on nothing, and we're sorry about that because that should never have happened. Oh, surprising. Oh, and then there's big lawsuits brought by a bunch of doctors and medical professionals who are suing Joe Biden and his administration for stopping any medical progress and under threat of cancellation, termination, jail, misinformation, etc. you're not allowed to come up with a cure. You're not allowed to talk about anything outside of our talking points. So there's a huge lawsuit against the government for that right now, where they're like, you guys made shit up and lied to the American people and to us, and under threat that we weren't allowed to do anything except for your narrative, and that is unethical and that is illegal. So there's a lot of the chickens are coming home to roost.
Wow.
Of course, they're trying not to. The mainstream media, what's left of them, are of course trying not to talk about it because they're part of the problem also. So what I find interesting is I keep hearing these whispers, and I don't even stop to pay that close of attention anymore because I saw through the shit a long time ago, like March of 2020. I said, "Oh, hey everyone, watch what happens. This is what's going to happen. This is how I know it's real. This is how I know it's not. Let's just watch." It's really interesting now that everyone is talking those exact words as if they're like, you know what, guys, we know what we found out. A whole bunch of bullshit. Hey, do you know what else we found out? We think that this might have been actually a ploy by the World Health Organization and the World Bank that required these countries to go through simulation exercises, which they had predicted that the control of social media would be the number one most important thing in order to control the narrative.
Yep.
And then what happens? Zuckerberg is on Joe Rogan, and they're just talking about suppressing Hunter Biden laptop during the last 10 days leading up to the election. Did you do it? Yes. Why? The FBI told us that there could be Russian disinformation about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and their dealings with foreign entities and influence and money. So we didn't cancel it completely, but we basically scaled back the ability of people to share that information. Zuckerberg says, and then he goes, "Really?" He's like, "Did the FBI say that you needed to cancel it?" He's like, "Not specifically. They just warn us. They often do, that there's a threat, and it's not perfectly defined. But then we take that topic and then we suppress the forwarding of that information, like they do." So all that stuff is literally just coming out, and it's not just that it's 2 years down the road, but it's also because the reckoning is here because midterm elections are 60 days out, and they know that they're going to get toppled. The people who have the power to investigate are the people who control the House.
Yeah.
The reason nothing's been investigated is because no one's going to investigate themselves.
Exactly.
So the House is declaring, and they're saying, "Hey, when we take control, we're investigating all of this, including Fauci, including Gates, including presidents, including people of power, including lies, including where did the bug come from? Was it manufactured by humans, and then was it released by humans in order to? Oh yeah, it's all coming out." So
holy shit.
they're all trying to jump ship, and now they're like, okay, if we can get as much of this out there as a matter of fact before we lose in 2 months, and then they take over in 3. Well, it's 4 months technically, right? January 6th, I think, or maybe January 20th, whenever the new Congress gets together. They're thinking if they can get as much out there as just like, hey guys, well, we already told you.
Yeah, we
they don't want to be holding the smoking gun. So now they're like, fuck, we're gonna go to prison. We better get all these entities out there to acknowledge that. Yeah, so at least when we're under oath, we're not getting locked up.
We can say we told them, we told the public.
Guys, we told everybody.
We told you guys.
No, the CDC said that. Duh.
Yeah.
Everyone admitted it. The FCC said that. They all said.
Yeah. After the fact of everything doesn't count, motherfuckers.
You mean nanotechnology in injections that require multiple injections in order to get it to start working as little micro machines? We told you that, guys. We told you that in Popular Mechanics and Popular Science in 1989 that we were doing it. I don't know why you guys are getting surprised that there's all these carbon nanotubes inside your bodies that are magnetized, that are making little machines. We told you it's to make you healthy,
Right?
guys.
Come on now.
Guaranteed. It won't prevent it. It won't stop the spread. It won't stop you from getting sick, but we guarantee it'll minimize your death rate. How do you know that?
Yeah.
Well, because it's already nanotechnology that we use in order to stop people from having heart attacks and stuff. So we just, we know it's in you. We can shut that switch off if we need to, or turn it on if you're between the ages of 18 and 49. And you're the reason why our population growth is still happening. And then we can make sure that you're dying off at a rate that's exponentially higher than it was before you got the shot. But cool. As long as we do it like matter of fact.
Yeah.
And then Alex Jones is fucking deplatformed. Okay.
It'll all be okay.
It'll all be okay. So it's like you got to take the absurd and you got to make it the new normal because you get caught.
Yeah. Right.
It's like when you're becoming an adult and you know that you got away with shit in your early teens and mid-teens with your folk. And then you're like, I'm becoming an adult and eventually this shit's going to come out. Like my sisters or my brothers, someone's going to rat me out. So you're getting like 17 years old. You're starting to get ballsy, right? And then you start to share like little secrets. You're like, Mom, remember that time I told you I was having a sleepover? Okay, then here's what really happened.
Right.
You're like doing like mea culpa because you're hoping that if you self-confess, then the wrath will be less. Like, blah, 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 I told you. Well, you didn't tell me that's when you killed a guy. I'm like, what? I mean, it was implied.
Right. Now, see, I couldn't do that because as soon as I came in the door, as soon as I looked at my mom, I'm like, okay, this is what happened. Like immediately, I never could hide shit from her. So I learned from a very young age with my mom, just tell her up front. And then she had my back when shit hit the fan. My mom was always the one that we called when we would get in trouble or get stranded or do something stupid and not want to get caught. Because my mom always knew what the plan was before we left my house because I couldn't not tell her. But I did that with my son too, so yeah. If you lie to me, I can't have your back. I can't tell the same lie, dumbass. You got to tell me the lie first.
Right, exactly. Let me in on it. So this is a French cake. You can see this on the screen?
Yeah.
Is it big enough that you can read it?
Yeah.
Okay, would you?
In the future, it will be a question of finding a way to reduce the population. We will start with the old, then the weak, and then the useless, and especially the stupid ones. We will get rid of them by making them believe it is for their own good. We will find something or cause it, a pandemic that targets certain people, a virus that will affect the old or the fat. It doesn't matter. The weak will succumb to it, and the fearful and the stupid will believe it and ask to be treated. We will have taken care to have planned the treatment, a treatment that will be the solution. The selection of idiots, this will thus be done. They will go to the slaughterhouse on their own. Jacques Attali, French Jewish shadow presidente of France, interviewed in 1981 by Michael Solomon, Les Visages de la Vigne. Okay, yeah, I don't speak French. I don't know. French original text at blah, blah.
All right.
1981?
Yeah. Jacques Attali.
Fuck.
So Jacques knew back then that when understand that the New World Order, the New Liberal Order, whatever you want to call it, the Great Reset, this stuff has been planned since 19 teens, and then definitely after World War II when everything came to a head. And they said, we can't afford to do another World War. Next time we're all gone. We all perish. We need to find a way to get control. So how do you get control? In the future, it'll be a question of finding a way to reduce the population. We'll start with the old, then the weak, then the useless, and especially the stupid ones. We'll get rid of them by making them believe it's for their own good. We'll find something or cause it, a pandemic that targets certain people, a virus that will affect the old or the fat. It doesn't matter. The weak will succumb to it. The French think Old and fat people are all useless. You don't respect yourself enough to live, so they don't respect you. It's true.
Fuck that.
And what happened with this virus? Who was dying? The old and the fat.
I haven't even gotten COVID ever,
I'm not blaming you for anything. But who did
but I'm
they
one
say?
of those fat.
Me too. Who did I got it twice? I didn't go me. Who did they say it affected the most? Comorbidities over the age of 80, and then if you had comorbidities like hypertension, diabetes,
Yeah.
anything caused by obesity, right?
Right.
So this is 1981. This is the
Wow.
matter of fact. When it comes time to cull the herd, it doesn't matter. The weak will succumb to it. The fearful and the stupid will believe it and ask to be treated. Hey, can I get the shot? You better get the
Yeah,
shot.
I know a lady that went on a trip and came back and has got COVID and continuously says, and she continuously says this out loud. And I just think, stop and listen to yourself. Just once, just stop and listen to what you're saying. She keeps saying, I'm double vaxxed and double boosted. And I went on vacation wherever she went to, and I got COVID. And I'm like,
What, like she was
you're
shocked?
not, yeah. I got COVID, but I'm double vaxxed and double boosted. And she just
Right.
keeps saying it over and over. I'm like, just stop and listen to what you're saying.
Right.
You're double vaxxed and double boosted. Therefore, you should not have ever even gotten it. Or, granted, later, it's like, well, you might still get it, but it won't be as bad. She got hit pretty hard. She was down for like 2 weeks. She was hit hard. She didn't go in the hospital, but it was close.
Right.
And I just want to say, like, oh my God, hello, McFly.
Right.
You know,
Take the red pill, kid. Take the red pill. Do you see? Do you see why? What you're saying? You're saying, but this is irrational. And they're like, yes.
Right. Every time.
So was telling everyone that 6-month-olds need to get get MQ. Got to move those. Got to move the volume. I don't know.
So fucked up. So fucked up. So fucked up. And now they have medication. And my mom saw the commercial and says, oh, so now that the vaccines aren't getting used, now they have to have medication that they can give you for after you've been vaxxed and boosted and you still get it.
Right.
Now there's medication to treat it. But yeah.
Oh. Right. It was, and it's all derivative of the stuff that they was already out there that was proven to work, but there was no copyright ownership of that. The patents had run out, so if it was a generic, they would not suggest a generic because you don't make any money off of it.
Right.
So they're like, we need to make up our own non-generic version of these things that we already proved worked. And that's another reason why the medical society is suing the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Because you literally tied our hands behind our back and said, let people die. Yeah. We need more people to die.
It needs to become the pandemic.
We will have taken care to have planned the treatment, a treatment that will be the solution. The selection of idiots will thus be done that will go to the slaughterhouse on their own. They will line up for the solution.
1981. That is insane.
So he was the shadow president so he basically was the right-hand man of the president in France. And he's a philosopher. Ooh. And I actually read a couple of his books after this. I was curious. Someone was like, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Mm-hmm. And he took one of his books. He talked about the world economy, and it was kind of my introduction to where does it all come from and where's it going to end up, and when do you run out of resources to actually support an economy, and then what do you have left at that point? If you're not buying and selling gold, you're not buying and selling minerals, you're not buying and selling salt, herbs, spices. The spice trade is gone. Like all these things that have propelled humankind throughout the centuries. What were the Dutch East India Company? What were they trading? Then the British East India Company, what were they trading? Then America, what were they selling? And then you run out of stuff to sell. Right. How do you keep people employed? And I thought that was interesting because I'm like, yeah, we've been selling data
Uh-huh.
For 45 years. We haven't had a trade of goods. And we've actually mastered production of food to the point where, just so you guys know, the 1.5 billion people who are going to die in the next 5 years from starvation, which won't be us, but it'll be in the third world countries that we're no longer third world because we had fixed that.
Right. Right.
When you look at supply chain shortages and, you know, what's it called? The baby formula. The problem with the baby formula issue is that there's 3 companies that make it. That's it. So
Yeah.
you have a supply issue with those people, you're effed. And that has been an example of why monopolies are not a good idea, because they can't necessarily withstand these things on their own. You need to have backup. But what's going to feel like inflation and a bit of scarcity to us, the richest nation with the most access, the access has been taken away because our active government has literally taken away production of everything in order to make us feel the pain.
Yeah.
But once that comes back in the next, handful of months, it's not going to unfortunately fix what has been a planned starvation of those who have failed to rise above their poverty. And that's legit. So you're going to look outside of yourself and be like, well, we did okay. I mean, we had to tighten up on some things and pay more for others. My average grocery bill is like $95. Now I live alone for 5 days a week. I got my kids on the weekends. Still $95. I'm like, the fuck do I buy? There's not booze in there. That's just meat, cheese. Fuck. And that's like twice a week. What?
There's 3 of us, and every week used to be about $300, and it's almost up to 500 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
I can eat the same damn thing every day. I don't give a fuck. My kids, I got to have some variety for them, but even then, like my box of Vittles is 40% more than it was. But
Yeah.
Watch for it. This is the thing: is we're underpopulated. The United States is about at break-even point right now. People have been convinced that they are the problem for so long. Toxic masculinity, the patriarchy, your gender, you should neuter yourself, you should never get married, never have kids. They've gotten us down to a net gain of about nothing. We're at about break even from population standpoint.
Wow.
There's 7 billion people in the world, and predictions were always that we would probably cap at about 9 billion, which is 100% sustainable, when it's actually 100% necessary in order for your countries to not go third world. Is you have to have population growth. If you can't have negative growth when it comes to your population, because then there's no one to carry forth the new message. There's no one to carry forth tradition, knowledge, tribal knowledge, skill set. What's scary is that because of water and food supply, we have taken the poorest nations and over the course of 40 years and stabilized them. Because access to electricity and running water are really all you need to get in the game. These food shortages that are caused and the destabilization of population, where our population is going negative, is going to have an effect on the world that you can't fathom at this point. And of course, they'll portray to you whatever they want you to see, and then you'll think that is truth. But the reality is, India is going negative on growth. China is at break even right now, which they need to stay that way in order to contend with us. It's demoralizing. The world's been demoralized and fed this constant line of bullshit that they're toxic and they're negative and they're bad, and you bring nothing to the table. And I look at my son, he's going to turn 20 years old He hasn't had a girlfriend since the one he had when the kid had game. He was my son. All right. Kid had game. He doesn't even care. He doesn't have that ambition. He doesn't have that like I want to meet somebody and I want to pair bond and I want to get laid or I want to have a family someday or there's it's this kind of
Yeah.
indifference.
Hmm.
And I'm like, how are you 5'7", 120 pounds? I'm a monster of a human being. I was bigger than that in the 8th grade. His mom's not a midget. But then you find out, whoa, what's happened with food and the chemicals that have been introduced to the population that has changed when the girls hit puberty and also changed whether the boys ever mature ever. Because what you got to do is if you're gonna cripple a population, you're gonna have to you got to take out the dicks. That's the first and
Right.
foremost thing.
Right.
Girls will use a certain amount of logic to a certain point to maybe not get knocked up, but boys will chase it constantly. So the first thing you have to do, you have to take away that desire for them to hunt.
Yeah.
If you can take that instinct away from them, then that's the first good part. Then your second good part is then now you have to take the remainder of the girls who, let's say the ones that are the more creative type, the ones who are more unsure of themselves. They don't necessarily look at everything as black and white. Like I don't want to get married and have kids. I don't know who I am, what I'm about. That population of artists have always existed. But
Right.
the population of artists are also the ones who cut themselves, wear all black, and wind up fucking indiscriminately and getting pregnant and having kids. Those are the white ones we're talking about. We're not even talking about what happens in inner city neighborhoods and what is planned there. How do you take care of those type, the non-logical, emotional, nutty ones who are the ones who dress in all black and they regret it eventually because they see pictures of themselves when they're growing up and they have 3 kids already and they're 20 and they're like, well, I guess I could have made better choices there.
Yeah. 3 different dads. Yeah.
Convince them that they're boys.
Yeah.
Free neutering. Free neutering
Right.
for everyone.
Right.
Free puberty blockers for everyone who, because if you're a rational girl, you're going to be like, I'm a girl. This is crazy. I would never even consider that. But what do you do when you make up for the irrational ones who are not necessarily going to be your best decision makers? Well, fucking point them in this direction. It's your safest thing to do. The boys will have no drive. The easy girls, easy. And I'm not saying they're I'm not slut shaming, but the ones more likely, just turn them against the patriarchy and make them part of the problem.
Yeah.
There's no differences in gender. But I think I'm a boy. Okay, well, absolutely, you're a boy. Wait, which one is it? Are there no differences in gender, or are you a boy?
Exactly.
There's no difference.
You can't have it both ways.
A boy can wear a dress. A boy can do this. You should never shame them. There's no differences in gender. I want a fake dick. Absolutely. Parents, get out of the way. You're going to jail. Wait, gender reaffirming.
No.
Gender reaffirming. Absolutely. I'm like, that's so crazy.
When they're 18 and they want to make the decision. No, when they're 18, have graduated high school, and no longer live under my roof. They can make their own decisions.
When dad doesn't have to legally pay child support, which is 18 and 19 years old or graduated from high school, I think is how that child support thing goes.
18 and graduated, or if they're over 18 until they graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad doesn't have to pay child support, then you're gonna make those choices.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Till then, my rules.
My rules. That's how it works.
My house, my rules. Exactly. My son's next month, he'll be 24, and a year ago, younger than him, I was married. When I was 24 and 3 months, I was having him. It's just
right. You can't imagine.
He's had 2 girlfriends. He just is like, I'm just gonna work, go to the gym. Just gonna work and go to the gym.
What's with that indoctrination of failure to launch? Like it's indoctrinated. Like, yeah, just do you. Don't. It's like pride becomes a virtue and not a sin. Yeah. Right.
I mean,
The worship of
As far-
self is more important and supported than
Right.
the identity and desire to. And I'm not shaming your son. I'm just saying I think what this
No.
what society is plugged in their heads
Yeah.
is
I mean, 'cause-
worship yourself. You be selfish. You're entitled to that.
Right. Because
That's
in all
called
the other
Satanism.
in all the other fields, he's done great. He's worked since he was just before he was 16. He's continued to work. He's working 40, 60 hours a week. He owns half the restaurant with his dad. He's bought and since sold his own condo. He has his own vehicle. So I think above the board, even for when like I was that age. If I hadn't been married at 23, at 24, I wouldn't have had any of my shit together, you know? So for that fact, he is, I think, a kind of above some of his peers
Yeah.
on that level. But as far as relationship wise, he's like, whatever. You know, I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm not rushing to have grandbabies, you know, a wedding and grandbabies, but it would be
My
nice.
oldest is the same. She's 29 and she's just now settling down.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's not an unrealistic age to do so.
No.
It's
I mean, think about I was 23. My mom was 17 when she got married. She was still
Right.
senior in high school. You know, so each generation, I think, pushes it back a little further and a little further. I mean, because the generation of my grandparents, she was like 15.
It's been pushed back because that's
I mean,
what
it's
they want.
Yes. So whether it's their own decision, society's decision, whatever, something or somebody has pushed that.
When you're generating more soldiers,
Right.
you need it to happen at a different pace.
Yeah.
When your goal is to have less war and no war and less soldiers, then you're going to have to change that because you have to support it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at the death of soldiers as part of the culling process. That's stabilization, right? Population stabilization.
Right.
Go to war and you die, generation after generation. That's good for the population, right? What do you do when
Keeps
there's
it
no
in check.
hope of that?
Right.
And you got too many assholes paying close attention and calling you out on your stuff. Do you think we're gonna get a third community strike? Get canceled on the showhelpshow.com or the Show Help Show or Jeffrey Sinatra? You think it's possible? I think it's possible.
It is possible. And John's not even here. We can't blame it on him.
I know.
Damn it. He needs to
Damn
pop
it.
on for just like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
And then we can
just
say,
jump
no,
on
it was
and
all him.
Jump on and cuss for a minute.
Yeah.
Threaten somebody.
Your fault, John. Sorry.
I wonder what happens with community guidelines when the rest of the world has moved on and said these are not untruth.
Right.
I mean, again, I got 2 community strikes at a time when I was reading the CDC findings, and they said you may not quote any medical facts outside of the CDC and local health authority declarations. I said, well, here we go, CDC. I said, nope, doesn't that strike?
Right.
I was being sarcastic. No.
And from what I've heard, YouTube is a bitch to fight. Like,
Oh yeah. They're just like, nope. I'm like, but nope, but nope.
right. When you say you have your ducks in a row, you need them in a row, lined up in fatigues, carrying the bayonets, like ready, you know, they're just lined up is not enough. Which is crazy. It's insane, but
Civil rights attorney blasts Biden's Wilkes-Barre remarks as a racist 1955 time warp. What? Hackneyed and racist comments. That sounds fun. Jason Shaftez, that was pretty low even for Joe, it says. Oh shit. Well, let's take a look and see what's going on in the news. Sound like Uncle Joe open mouth insert.
Without his handlers. He didn't have handlers around.
Yeah, they didn't have the shot collar.
Right.
Hit him again.
He went off on his own. Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's trouble. Let's see what Uncle Joe's up to. What do we got here? Civil rights attorney blasts Biden. Biden's woke bar remarks as racist 55 time more. Let's see. That was pretty low even for Joe. Glad Biden's no longer holding back on GOP's fascism. All right, let's see what it says. Los Angeles civil rights attorney Leo Terrell ripped President Biden for what he considered hackneyed racist remarks during a campaign-style stump speech in Pennsylvania earlier Tuesday. Biden spoke just down US 11 from his hometown of Scranton and regaled the crowd with references to his childhood while making political points. The president said his father, Joe Biden Sr., would go hunting in the nearby Pocono Mountains when the younger Joe was growing up, adding that hunters like Joe Sr. never required semi-automatic rifles to hunt. How many deer are wearing Kevlar vests, he asked, adding that he has 2 shotguns at home and I'm not opposed to guns. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Fine.
At another juncture,
true.
Biden appeared to reference his work as a lifeguard in the largely minority northeast section of Wilmington, Delaware. He said that he was the only guy who worked as a lifeguard down in the area of the aquatic center that now bears his name. You know, you could always tell where the best basketball in the state is and the best basketball in the city is where everybody shows up. Okay, so maybe that's representing Black people. Biden previously raised eyebrows during a discussion of his lifeguard tenure when he recounted in 2017 run-ins with reported local gang leader Corn Pop and how the son would bleach his leg hair blonde while he sat on the guard stand. On Hannity, Terrell said that his comments were further examples of purported racism, saying Biden's basketball reference was particularly galling. It's so racist. He's the only white guy. Basketball, many Black people, Joe Biden in the 1955 time warp, he said. His stories are old, outdated, and don't make a bit of sense. And it's insulting. So his references, you go where the good basketball players are, and we all know they're blackjack. What do you guys expect from an 80-year-old fucking with dementia?
But see, until they were like, oh, what about basketball? Like, did you mean by Blacks? I didn't take it that way.
I understand where they're trying to find a reference, and I understand that.
Yeah, I think they're.
Joe's probably like, the Negro folk, in his head. But
right. I get it.
This is a stretch. I mean, it's a stretch.
Yeah,
you're making an assumption. It's like,
exactly.
What was this is Johnny Depp trial. Hearsay, objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Yeah, absolutely. This was it a slow news day? What the fuck?
That's where the Black folk are. Isn't that what
he said? We're the best basketball people.
Basketball and Black people are synonymous. Objection. None of this would be admissible in court.
Right? No, because he didn't say that.
I hate Joe. I would like to
Me
pillory
too,
him.
But he said it's just where the most of the people show up.
Yeah,
that's all. I think they're just digging.
According to Rush Limbaugh, we know that Black people are better athletes. That's the fact. Rest in peace, Rush. Sorry you got kicked off of the NFL commentary after week 1. Sometimes we just know what we know, but sometimes we don't want to point it out. And we also know that trans women are faster swimmers than regular women. That's a fact. But that wouldn't be racist. That would be transphobic.
And we're not that.
We're not. We love trans.
Not. We love all people.
It's double.
Except stupid. We love all people except the stupid ones.
No, he doesn't understand. People know what happened the last 3 years, Terrell said. Biden is scheduled to make another stump speech in Pennsylvania. Who cares? About a day later, former President Trump will travel where Biden was Tuesday and host a rally in support of State Senator Doug Mastriano. He's Italian sounding, so I'm sure that's going to be racist. The Republican nominee for governor, and Dr. Mehmet Oz, the GOP cardiothoracic surgeon talk show host, Oprah friend, billionaire. Dr. Mehmet, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz.
That guy's plastic surgery is bomb. He looks good. Dr. Oz, I think he's like 70. He looks like he's 50.
Is he really?
It's got to be.
Ooh, I didn't know he was that old. Wow.
I don't know, I'm guessing. All I know is I'm almost 50, and that guy's been around for probably 20 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
he was a successful, maybe longer, successful surgeon before I knew who he was. So let's see, Dr. Oz, age. Dr. Mehmet, I was born in 1960. So that makes him what, 62 years old? Okay, I was off a little bit. So,
But still, yeah, it does look good for 62.
Lion Biden is unfit to save the soul of a nation. I don't want American kids. The real reason parents are suddenly choosing language immersion schools because you all a bunch of self-loathing assholes because you should hate yourselves. Why the forecast for November is changing. It was a referendum. Now it's a choice. Well, let's see what's going on there. What is this opinion? Visit website. All right, let's go. Real Clear Politics. Why the forecast for November is changing. This guy's Ronald Brownstein is the byline. I hope he's brown. Really dark Jewish guy. Boom. Read full article. Yeah, because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here.
Whew. Trying to get there is like, wow.
All right.
Oh,
see,
Jesus.
for political professionals in both parties, that's a capsule explanation for why the Democratic position in the midterm elections appears to have improved so much since summer began. Yeah, I'm hearing about that. That doesn't make me happy. When the election looked to be primarily a referendum on the performance of the Democrats, who control the White House and Congress, Republicans were optimistic that a towering red wave would carry them to sweeping gains in November. But with evidence suggesting more voters are treating the election as a comparative choice between the two parties, operatives on both sides are bracing for a closely contested outcome that could include unusual divergence in results for the House and those in the Senate and governor races. So people are being held to account on their own merits. And I'm okay with that because if you're a Republican and you locked everybody down and you're a lying hypocrite piece of shit and you destroyed our economy and you supported all the bullshit that put us in this position, then you should not be fucking reelected.
Yeah.
And if you're a Democrat and you did the right thing by your fucking people, you should be reelected.
Yeah.
Personally,
On your own merit.
I say vote no on incumbents. Just get rid of them all. Fuck them. Scrap them, start over. They can become fucking CNN pundits. They need to replace their shelf anyways. Scrap them, start fresh. Hi, you're fresh? So do you have an opinion on how you would have done things differently? Tell me about that. Because if you succumb to the pressure of the people who are already in there, you just get rid of everybody in there and then there's no pressure left.
Yeah.
Fucking
Clean slate.
135 brand new faces in there. Let's go.
Shake the etch and sketch.
Yeah. The shit out of it.
Yep.
Joe Biden stalled. Shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Climate change. No one cares. Here's the thing. Climate change is like it's a religion, guys.
Yeah.
Nobody actually gives a fuck. Your virtue signaling. Is climate change real? Yes. Do humans have an impact on it? Yes, likely. Is it catastrophic and is it going to end the earth as we know it? No. Has it done it over and over and over again as far back as we can record climate in the earth? Yes. Ebbs and flows, it happens.
Yep.
So is it virtue signaling for people who actually don't understand anything and want to feel like they're important? Yes. According to Shapiro, what's his name? Little Jew friend. I can't think of his first name. Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro, my guy Ben.
Ben.
The fast talking yarmulke wearing Ben Shapiro. He knows how to solve for climate change. You have to bomb India and China. So They are the number one producers of greenhouse gases, of carbon dioxide. They are the biggest destroyers of the climate when it comes to pollution, toxins, and there's nothing that 330 million people are going to do to overcome what is being done by 6 billion. How are you going to overcome what 6 billion people are doing? They don't give a fuck. It's not a thing. It's an American thing that has been brought upon to make you feel guilty and to attach you to a cause. Like, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying that we don't have an impact, but our 330 million, we're not going to out or underperform when it comes to pollution on the earth, what China and India are doing, and they don't fucking care. So Shapiro was right. He's like, you care about climate change, bomb India and China. There, you fix it. It's the only way you're going to fix the climate.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle, kids. Use your fucking heads. Does one person matter? Yes, one person matters. Can one person make a difference? 100%. I believe so. Because the one person can make a difference if you are living in truth and you're sharing that truth with other people. One person, what do you think toppled regimes? What do you think toppled communist Russia? The Gulag archipelago with Solzhenitsyn, who found himself in the Gulag, and he's literally imprisoned in Russia. The whole book it's the book that he wrote about his time in the gulags, which they said didn't exist. Yeah, the gulag is where they took the people, the reprobates and the ones they didn't know what to do with in society, and they imprisoned them instead of just murdering them outright. The whole book is his take on trying to understand what he did in his life in every pivotal moment that would have led him to be wind up as a political dissident in prison.
Wow.
So he evaluated every moment, and what he came to understand is that it wasn't one specific act, but it was a series of acquiescence and excuses and turning your head and not speaking the truth, which is why he wound up in prison. There wasn't a specific thing he did wrong. It was a series of things that he wasn't truthful about. He said, all it takes to overturn a tyranny is for one person to be willing to tell the truth first. Nobody wants to speak out against the tyranny because then they're the tallest poppy syndrome. You're going to be taken out first.
Right.
Everybody wants to nod and go along with it. Well, this isn't about me. This isn't about me. As long as this isn't about me, I'm just going to keep living my life. It feels about the same, right? When I heard that come from John, it made me so sad that he had resigned himself to not be passionate about what was being changed in his life. He's like, well, it's all about the same. Like, but it's not. It's not. If you evaluate your life success based on whether or not you have a mortgage and you have food, then I'm sure, okay. But if like family values, morals, virtues, ethics, tradition, if those things matter to you, then you have to pay attention. If you want to high surface it from a consumerism standpoint and tell me that your life feels about the same from a consumerism standpoint, well, no shit. Why do you think they created consumerism? So that's what you have to mark yourself against. That's what you have to compare yourself against. If it's virtue, ethics, character, integrity, that's when people stand up and fight for something. So love you, John, but that pissed me off when you gave up based on that. Well, I eat about the same food, drink about the same beer, jerk off at about the same time, go to sleep. And that's what you want. You're gonna look back on your life when you're 75 years old, and you're gonna be like, "Yep, came when I wanted, drank when I wanted." I mean, the entire fabric of our country fell apart, and because I wasn't willing to stand up and say this is bullshit. But I mean, it was gonna happen anyway. I'm gonna be dead. Like, who can stop it? Like, I'm like, oh, human beings have an opinion. Tell the truth. How did we get down this hole?
Oh no. Woo.
Oh, fired
You're
up.
fired up tonight. It's you tonight,
Fired
not me.
up. Jesus. I'm gonna go masturbate real quick so I can get over myself.
Please mute yourself.
You're coming out and you're not able to finish. You know why? Because the destruction of the moral fabric of your country is underway, and it's hard to come when that's happening.
Oh no.
You're like, I just thought it was the porn I was looking at. I thought it was desensitized.
No, you find the right video, just you don't need a new one.
2 minutes, 39 seconds.
30 seconds.
Uh,
And a fresh battery. It works every time.
hello.
That's the key, ladies. Fresh batteries. Just
Yeah,
just
fresh
saying.
battery.
Just saying.
I thought you had a kickstart on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Was it
When you're like hitting the 1 minute mark and you're like, why is this not working? What is happening? What is happening? Oh, change the batteries. Give it a little jump.
Go fresh or go home.
Not saying I changed batteries last night. Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
This is part of the show where I'm gonna get a drink and I'm gonna do something. So we're gonna do the montage, the Shelf Help Show montage. So if you're watching, we appreciate it. If you're watching video on demand, tell a friend. We got 135 people on Twitch. We got I don't know 40 or 50 people who watch it on Facebook. Starting to point people over the YouTube direction. And coming up with more.
We should probably check
Right.
see if anyone's in chat. Oops.
I know, right? Yeah. So anyways, little montage and then we will be right here.
Be right back. Those were pictures of the house up on Mount Helix where you guys where we all stayed.
That's right. I enjoyed that. I like it.
Mhm.
I'm breaking my low carb fast right now. I'm having a little fudgicle.
Oh,
Mm. Tastes just like fudge.
yeah.
Yeah, if a sickle fucked it. Mm. Welcome back. Shelf Help Show. Dad bod, biker beard. You wonder how I keep this bod? Fudgicle. Mm. No fun.
When
You
I
know,
got bit by the dog when I was younger, I got bit in the mouth by a big dog, and my lip. I had so many stitches inside and out that my lip was so swollen. It was like hanging out over my,
Mm.
it was so swollen. I couldn't really eat anything substantial, and so we're staying with my aunt, and my aunt Phyllis was like, so I was her favorite, and she went and got the really good fudgesicles,
Yeah.
and only I got to have them because for one, I put it in my mouth and it was cold, so it helped my lip. And my sister and all my cousins had to have like the crappy fruit ones.
Ooh.
Not many times in my life, being the oldest of five and also being like the oldest grandchild on my dad's side and like the fourth oldest on my mom's side, I didn't really get anything to myself a whole lot.
Right.
Even my birthday, my cousin was birthday was the day after mine. So I didn't even get my own birthday. We shared birthdays, and so
Fuck that.
so I
So
didn't
you
get a
were
lot
like,
of
I want to get
stuff
bit
for me.
on the
So I
face.
yes,
Oh.
that was my reason, right? But I will admit I was a bit of a bitch, and I just shoved that in their faces every single time we got a popsicle, and they got the crappy fruit ones, and I got the
Mhm.
fudgesicle. I was like, this is, of course, my lips are like, it's so good. I could hardly talk, but I was just like, just eat it so slowly, like just tease them. And I was a bitch. That was mean, but I was like, what, 9 or 10, something like that.
Yeah. Couldn't figure out why you started wetting your bed, all the time after that, and come to find out it wasn't her wetting her bed. Oh,
It took me a minute. I'm sorry.
they were pissing on her while she was asleep.
I got that now, but at first I was like, wait, what?
I was
Oh
hoping
my
you would
gosh.
be like, oh shit. How did you know I started wetting the bed? That
Oh no.
would
I
have
can't
been
believe it
even
took me
better.
can't believe it took me that long to get it though. Whew.
Woo.
Brain's
Hypomine.
going so fast. It's like, wait, stop, slow down, pay attention. What was that? I don't know. What was that? I don't know.
What happened was,
What did you do to our chat thing?
which I think,
I mean, not chat. Twitch. Oh my God, I can't think.
well, what happened to Twitch?
So no, it's fine. But go out of there. It says so one viewer, which is probably me. That's
Yeah.
fine. But if you click on it, there was always a couple. It would show other viewers, but they're like bots or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 other
15 bots or viewers.
15 bots. It says one viewer, which is me. But there's 16 names in the list of viewers.
Oh shit. Let me take a look.
There used to be like maybe 3 or 4 other ones. And I was used to the names because it'd always be the same names.
Yeah. Yeah.
All roads lead to the farm. All Allen Gathering. Allen Conglomeration. Alexis the Nexus. Academy Impossible. Commander Root. Lori Pub. Rainmaker. Sophia Fox 21. Sound Alerts. Sound Alerts is always there. Wap Tart. That's always there. That's
Commander
weird.
Root. I know Commander Root. That's
Commander Root. Okay. That's just I didn't expect it. It took me by surprise. I haven't been on Twitch in a while.
Those could be people that popped in, popped out, and it leaves a trail. So
Well, it
sorry.
does take it a minute to update. Like when I come on, I'll click it. It won't show my name for like a minute or so. And
Right.
I'll click on it and then my name will be there because I'm ex Mama Fox in here. My name will be there. And so it's like,
Let's
just took
see
me by
what's
surprise.
happening on the channel. I don't
And
even
Anna
use any.
Banana Tin.
Wait, who?
Anna Banana Tin. I like all roads lead to the farm. I don't know. I don't know what kind of
sounds familiar, and I think Anna Banana. I think I dated her. Not kidding. Stream manager. So, anyways, hi. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, I
Let's
did it.
see. I don't ever check anything. Let's see. Haylock DJ followed 5 days ago. So Docking 343 followed 7 days ago. Moist went Venus followed 3 days ago and got 69 bits. What's up, Moist Venus? Thanks. Death Adder followed. There's X Mama Fox. Resubscribed. Rockman. I never look at this. I should probably. I think there's stuff you can do to. It's Saturday night. What? Why doesn't this notification change?
It has said that for like a month and a half now.
Shit.
I told you that at one time and you were like, huh? And I said, yeah, it says Saturday night Padres or whatever every notification.
Oh.
And then the next time it still said it and I was like, oh, okay.
Just chatting.
I don't know.
Add tags. Audience. Sure. Tags. Enter your own tags. Let's see. What are some tags? Politics.
Well, that's weird because these are actual people. Like I'm looking, I just found out how to get their information, like to view their view info.
Yeah, they were humans.
They're actual people. I just don't know why they're all in the watching thing. That's
Hey
weird.
guys,
In
thanks
the
for checking
viewers.
in. We appreciate it. Mama Fox didn't believe me that we had fans at some point, right? So I used to check the analytics all the time in the beginning, and I would be shocked because it'll pull your analytics for worldwide and show you where people are viewing and then from what devices. So if you don't, you can watch Twitch without logging in. You guys understand that, right? You can watch it on an app. You can watch it from your phone. You can watch it from your television. I can go right now and just say, Alexa, search for Jeffrey Sinatra on Twitch. And it'll pull up my channel and I'm not logged in. We can view it. So anybody who's viewing, it does capture those impressions. Look, fucking Alexa, listen to me.
Nah.
Oh, Frank Sinatra. Well, close enough.
Close. See, I got smart. I went to my headphones because you guys kept fucking with my Alexa.
Alexa,
she can't hear you now.
Put a 9-inch black dildo in my cart.
I think you guys did that to me once, or a paddle or something was added to my cart one time. And like 2 days later, I'm like, I set notifications. Something, whatever it was, I can't remember what it was, is in your cart. Would you like to check out? I'm like, no, delete from cart.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're up to 137 followers. See, we got a couple more. Hey guys, hi. So yeah, I would tell these guys at the beginning, John and Missy, I say, we actually have on average somewhere around 250, sometimes 400 people will watch. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, no, seriously. So here's the Facebook audience. Here's the YouTube audience, which is really nothing because I never talk about YouTube. It's my place where I like to get community strikes, so I can't store my shit there anymore. That's why they're so strict. Bandwidth. So I'm like, look, we have people in Myanmar, which is Burma. We have people like, I check the demographics. It comes out and they can show me they're watching on their iPhone. They're watching from an app. They're watching from Android. Here's the people who rewatch. I'm like, it's on average about 250, sometimes 400 people. They're like, yeah. I only see one.
I know.
So there's a difference between viewers, which all y'all viewers. There's a viewer, and then you have a subscriber, which is bigger, right? Because that's money. And you have a follower, right? And then you have the people who engage, your engagement percentage. the engagement percentage is usually about 5%. Those who will engage. So if you don't come into chat and say hi, and I don't push it, and I don't do contests, and I don't even respect you enough to look at the damn chats.
We forget most of the time.
Or I'm too self-absorbed. I will look at.
I'm watching chat now on Twitch, so y'all hit us up.
I have it up now. I have it up now too. Now I feel like I kind of want to.
Of course, now we both have it.
I could snooze my ad. I didn't even know that. Let's take off. Yeah, let's snooze an ad. We have goals. I can manage goals. This is exciting. Sub points 4, goal is 10.
Now it shows 3 viewers. I don't understand.
So what is all this stuff? Manage prediction, manage a poll, quiz kit. Oh, I can make a quiz. Prime subscription, alert reminder. Okay. Guys, don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, you can also have Amazon Prime Gaming, which means you can give 1 sub per month to the stream of your dreams. And we know that is Jeffrey Sinatra stream here on the Shelf Help Show. So you can go in, link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch, and then throw that sub on there. It costs you nothing. It benefits us somehow. I'm not sure. Last year, I got paid out $105 because I said $100 as the payout.
I think I'm at 6 months now.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I use my Prime subscription.
So, a couple pennies to the show is a couple pennies to the show, since I am obviously independently wealthy.
Right.
Where's my stack of cash, actually?
Yeah. Flash it.
Stack of cash and a stack of ass. I went to the liquor store the other night, not for liquor, just for some primetime cigars. And I had my fake money with me, at least part of it. And I thought it made me laugh because outside the liquor store, I dropped like, I don't know, $1,000 around the parking lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is not nice if the guy who owns Gus's Liquors has to contend with people thinking that they're buying up the whole store.
Right. With fake money.
I like that guy. That guy's cool.
I remember one time I was, I think it was the year I graduated high school. So I was just turned 18 and I lived in Oregon. I flew to Arizona for the summer. That was my graduation gift from my uncle. Really, I just flew his son for the summer so he could spend the summer in Arizona.
That sounds kinky. I flew his son for the summer.
No.
Woo, Angie, this is fun.
No, shut up. Stop. No.
Airplane.
Anyways, we were in Arizona, and my aunt had went to California, Rancho Cucamonga, to my other aunt's house.
Yeah.
And so my uncle stayed in Arizona, got me, and then we drove, and we left late, so it was dark by the time. And this was 92. You didn't have GPS on your phone. You didn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, that's when you had the Rand McNally map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he swore he knew where we were going. Well, he did not know where we were going. And at some point we hit a bad part of a neighborhood. Ooh. And he didn't know how to get us out. He was like, literally, I'm not doing less than 35. Like, I'm not.
There were blacks and browns?
No, I didn't say that. No.
He was scared.
He was scared. He's like, I'm not doing 25. We're like flying through.
At a glance, how do you know if white people are bad? Look at me. I look safe. All right, anyways, go ahead.
Definitely what you
So what are you doing, step uncle? Go ahead.
Anyways, we found this little mini mart, and we're gonna stop and get a drink.
We were huddled together for warmth.
Get directions.
Never thought it would happen to me.
And get directions to where we were going.
Uh-huh.
So we go in, we grab a drink, whatever, and I swore, you know how they have those little boxes of like candy and stuff that on the edges of the counter?
Yeah, point of sale. Yeah.
I was standing there and I was like, but I didn't say anything. I just turned 18. I was shy, quiet, We get back out to the car and I'm like, Uncle Tim, there was a $20 bill, like, or $50, something. There was tucked under one of those boxes. Now my uncle, being my uncle, was like, what? Which box? I'm like, right on the edge, like right on the side I was standing. And he gets out of the car, he goes back in. The dude, it was a $20 bill, and he tore off just that much of it and then taped it down and set the box on the edge to see how many people would try to. He said it was his entertainment of it was his entertainment every night. He had at least two to plus people try to pick up
Try
that
to
$20
subtly
bill.
go in there and get that. Get that
Yeah.
cash. Hey, the cash is in my store. Finders keepers.
I was
Rule.
like, damn. That was
I was
pretty
gonna buy
ingenious.
stuff from you.
Right.
That keeps the economy going. That's okay, right? Um,
That was
I
fun.
have a rule when I buy my primetime cigars. Rule number 1, I should not be smoking primetime cigars. Rule number 2, I'm gonna, because they
Right.
taste delicious. Rule number 3, you're lying. You haven't had a sense of taste since COVID. But I do it because I look cool. No, that's not true either. It's another lie. I have a rule. They of all the flavors they have, primetime cigars. This is gonna sound like I'm, Mama Fox, mildly racist, but
What?
I go in and I say, "Hey, can I get a pack of primetimes?" And he's like, "Yeah, what flavor? Anything except for grape."
Grape's my favorite.
It's just a rule. And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Well, so the two places that I go to, Maui and Gus's, to get my primetimes, now they know they're pretty well trained. I'm like, hey, they're like, "Oh, primetimes? That's right. Anything except for grape, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Black people, am I right?" No.
I love grape. Grape's my favorite.
Well, the Jordanian guy says this as some brothers and sisters are standing behind me. He goes, "Prime, no grape, anything except for grape, right?" I'm like, "That's right." And he's like, "Black people, right?" I'm like, "Oh, my Nubian brothers and sisters. This is going to be awkward for a moment."
Wow.
I said, Walid, what did I tell you? Did I tell you it was because of black people? I said, "I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second. They'll be worth it." He goes, no, but I thought black people like grape." I said, I don't know. Let's let me go ahead and defer back to these fine folk back here who are waiting. Fine folk, is it true y'all like grape? They're like, "Yeah, we like grape." I said, "Okay, do you prefer grape over, say, raspberry and vanilla?" They're like, "Vanilla, that's for white people." I said, "See, okay, well, I don't know what's happening here." They said, "Well, why don't you like grape?" I said, "Well, I had a sound reason up until now. Can you guys tell I'm sweating?"
I don't know if I'm
And
getting out of here alive.
I said, "Listen, I don't think they make watermelon flavored primetime, but if they did, I would smoke them, just so you know." I said, here's the, and they start laughing. They're like, "This guy is crazy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Thanks, Walid, you asshole." So this is the grape story, guys. I'll be quick. I know you want to get your Alizé and your Courvoisier and get out of here. So let me be quick on the story. I'm not joking. That's what they had. Hey, you got any cups? Yeah, they're $1 a piece. I know this already. This is why no grape. I said when I was a kid, I would ride our bikes to the Santee Lakes, or we would ride our bike to wherever, and we wind up in a convenience store somewhere in the world. I would wind up in a convenience store, and being the age we were, I don't know, third, fourth, fifth grade ish. We never had money, and we always wanted gum. And it's just for some odd reason, for the years I was a gum burglar, and I was good at it. I never got caught. Every time I would think to steal a pack of gum, the gum that was closest to my hand and closest to my pocket without me having to make any sudden movements always turned out to be grape. Always. Whether it was Hubba Bubba, Bubblicious, Bubble Yum. They said, "Bubble Yum make grape?" I said, "Bubble Yum make grape." Hubba Bubba, grape.
Yeah.
Like Hubba Bubba? I said, "That's what it's called." I said, every time. Now, I didn't dislike grape. I drink grape Capri Suns. I eat grapes. I eat grape jelly. Nothing wrong with grape drink. But every time I sold a pack of gum, it was fucking grape. Like grape. I don't like grapes that much. But then I have to chew it because I stole it. And my friend Matthew, he
Yeah.
would chew it because he stole it. I said, that's why I got a pack of prime times. I got grape. Might want to give it a shot. And it just reminded me of my childhood constant failure of not being able to steal anything except for grape flavored gum.
Oh,
They're like,
God.
that's hilarious, actually. I was like, yeah, I'm glad you think so. 'Cause I made it
Can I
up.
go now?
It's just because it's a black thing.
Oh, Jesus.
They're like, what? I'm like, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. It's a true story. It's a true story. One is like, see, I told you. So they were laughing. They're like, you're
See?
crazy.
What's
I
it say
know.
about me? What's it say
It's
about me?
fine.
My favorite's a tie. My favorite tie is vanilla and grape. Yeah, make a vanilla grape and I'd be happy.
Vanilla and grape. Grape drink,
Be good.
purple drink. I get a pack of prime time. Yeah, anything except for scissor. No, I like scissor. Scissor's dope. You know what scissor is?
No.
It's like codeine cough syrup mixed with lean. What's the lean? It's anti-nausea meds that make you like really really like high, really like it's a disassociative
I'm gonna do that
lean.
shit on my own. I don't need help.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't know what codeine cough syrup,
She's like, just
tastes
rent
like.
my brain for a while.
Right? Just take a walk with me. I don't know what codeine cough syrup tastes like. I'm allergic to codeine, so I've never had it.
This is a true story too. There are certain things that you think you hear about just in rap songs because, I don't know, it seems like it's important to them at the time. And then you're like, that's not true. Y'all don't drink that. Promethazine is called. Promethazine is the anti-nausea. I had a buddy named Rod I worked with. Sure enough, Roderick on Mondays, we'd be like, how was your weekend? He's like, yeah, I got some lean. Ooh, I swerve. So good. And I was like, I've had promethazine because of the flu, and it's anti-nausea. It's kind of like I don't know. I don't know, kind of getting really high off of marijuana, kind of. I thought, but it definitely takes you outside of your right mind. You're just like
Purple drink.
So purple drink.
Wow.
What is leading this? Promethazine.
Cough syrup, soda, hard. Wait, what was that?
Sorry. Lean, also known as purple drink, scissor, bar, and Texas tea, among other names. It's a concoction of cough syrup, soda, hard candy, like Jolly Ranchers, and in some cases alcohol. Originating in Houston, Texas, it typically served in a white styrofoam cup.
Ugh.
The term lean comes from the position it tends to put you in after drinking it. And it rhymes with promethazine.
Wow.
Here's what's going on behind the styrofoam. And they're like, Healthline does not endorse the use of any illegal substances. So we're about to give you the ingredients. So don't hold us.
Right.
People have been misusing codeine, which is like it's a derivative of opium, like Vicodin, right? The main ingredient lean for ages, but lean's prominence in pop culture has made it more popular than ever. Like Lil Jon, all the Atlanta-based rappers, yeah, they're on lean.
I love it. Rappers and Justin Bieber.
And Justin Bieber. Well, he was discovered by Pootie Tang, or wait, who was he discovered by?
I'm not a fan.
I don't know. I forget, but prominent black artist. Bieber have been singing his praises in songs and dying or having seizures from it since the 1990s. Though it seems to have first appeared in the 70s or 80s. Here's a highlight reel of lean's more specific claims to fame and pop culture. Reports suggest it's a major factor in Lil Wayne's ongoing hospitalizations for seizures. Bow Wow recently opened up about almost dying as a result of an addiction to lean. The late Mac Miller also described dealing with an addiction to lean in 2013 when he died of a heroin overdose. Rapper 2 Chainz was arrested at an airport for possessing promethazine, a key lean ingredient. Then there are the high-profile athletes whose lean-related suspensions and hospitalizations continue to make the headlines. What the fuck? Exactly. The most commonly used ingredients are prescription cough syrup that contain opioid codeine and antihistamine promethazine, which is the anti-nauseant. The cough syrup is mixed with soda and sometimes alcohol. Some people also add hard candies, especially Jolly Ranchers, to the mix. That's right. Others use over-the-counter cough syrup containing dextromethorphan instead. Since OTC cough syrups no longer contain alcohol, people usually add their own alcohol to the OTC version of lean. Other variations of purple drink involve a combination of codeine tablets added to cough syrup and soda. The amount of each ingredient varies. You got to tell your lean tender what you want, but to get the desired effect, a lot more than the recommended or safe dose is used. Is it legal? Yes and no. The DEA classifies codeine as a Schedule II controlled substance when it's a single ingredient. It remains a lesser but still potent controlled substance when mixed with other ingredients like cough syrup, promethazine. All products containing it are only available with a prescription due to the risk of misuse. The distribution or manufacturing of it without a license is also illegal. Don't be making codeine at your house.
No.
So what about DXM, dextromethorphan? Did you guys know you can get high for $1.25? You can. DXM cough syrup is available without a prescription. So anything that says Robitussin, dextromethorphan is a cough suppressant. Now here's the fascinating thing about that. Now you guys know what Lane is, purple drink.
Wow.
It's a thing. And grape Jolly Ranchers, by the way, are often used. I didn't make that up.
They're my favorite too.
Man, my buddy would come to work and he would just be still like sideways. I'm like, when the fuck did you drink this stuff? He's like, Saturday night. Well, it's Monday morning. You still, it's like, oh, it's so good.
It acts on your central nervous system and slows your brain activity for a sedating effect.
Right.
I'm allergic to codeine. I can't take it.
Yeah,
I don't breathe. Damn it.
So what can happen? Hallucinations, extreme sedation, loss of coordination, high body temperature, nausea, vomiting, itchy skin, severe constipation, changes in heart rhythms, respiratory depression, dizziness, seizures, loss of consciousness. These are what opioids do to you.
Right.
What happens if you add alcohol? It intensifies it.
Yeah.
A lot. You're gonna have trouble breathing. Have we ever tried it?
No, but have you ever taken like a couple of Benadryl and then like had a beer? It's like the same effect. It just like pours.
Yeah.
It's like you drink a 6-pack. You just had that one, but you're like, holy fuck.
Crazy, right? Yeah, the combination. So promethazine being a what's the same thing as Benadryl, antihistamine.
Antihistamine, yeah.
It makes you dizzy. A lot of antihistamines are used specifically for anxiolytics, reduce your anxiety, help you sleep.
Anxiety to help sleep, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So interesting thing about dextromethorphan. So you have opiate positive and opiate negative derivatives of the opium poppy. Dextromethorphan is considered opiate positive, although like codeine, heroin, all the hardcore ones are considered opiate negative. That doesn't mean that they don't contain it. That's just how it interacts with your body. Okay. They figured out, chemists figured out after cooking opium so many different ways, they found that dextromethorphan in reasonable doses, which is an opiate derivative of opium sold over the counter as Robitussin, it has the positive effects. This is why it's opiate positive. It has the positive effects of opium without having the deleterious negative effects, such as you stop breathing and you die. Okay. So dextromethorphan, meth, what? Or it's an amphetamine and it's a opiate. Good stuff. It has the positive effects of stopping that cough reflex. So if you've had a cough for a period of time and you're like, I need to sleep, I'm coughing my fucking lungs out.
It relaxes.
You take the Robitussin and it has the opiate positive effect of suppressing that reflex to cough. So then you're able to sleep. This is why they don't recommend that you take a cough syrup when you first get sick. Because
So that you can't cough it out.
want to cough. You want to cough that shit out. It's when you get to a point where you're 21 days into a fucking secondary infection. And
you feel like you've broken, you have every broken rib.
They're like, you
bruised sides. You're like,
right. This isn't going to cure you, but it's going to help you sleep. That's why they give you guafenism, the expectorant. What's that expectorant? We hack the chunks out of your throat. Mucinex. That's what it's called. Mucinex is used popularly as well as dextromethorphan. One loosens up the phlegm. The other one won't help you cough it out. It'll stop the cough reflex. So you have to use it at the right times. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people will use combo drugs that aren't
you don't
helping. Yeah. If you get Sudafed is amphetamine. Pseudoephedrine is ephedrine is amphetamine. It's the same thing, another derivative like dextromethorphan. One comes from opium, one comes from amphetamine speed. It has amphetamine positive, which it dilates the capillaries and dilates your sinuses. So speed does that. It opens everything up, gets the blood pumping, but you don't want the negative effects of I can't sleep and my house is really clean. That's not an effect. That's a good effect.
Right.
But so these get misused because kids figure it out. Kids go, I got sideways. If I follow the recommended dose, it helps suppress my cough so I can sleep. If I quadruple the recommended dose, I get fucking high as fuck.
Yeah.
Because there's a break point, even in opiate positive and amphetamine positive derivatives. That's why they have a recommended daily amount. That's why smurfing is illegal. You can only buy a certain amount of Sudafed a day because they don't want people actually turning that back into methamphetamine, which is a very potent stimulant.
Now, years ago, they started you have to buy Sudafed behind the pharmacy counters or behind the counter. You can't get, and there's a restricted amount they can sell you.
You have to sign for it. Once every couple of years, I'll have a sinus problem that that will require Sudafed, and I'm like, you got to go OTC because it works. There's a reason why it's behind the counter. If there was an issue with people taking dextromethorphan or Robitussin and converting it into opiate negative, which can be done, no one's synthesizing that though. So there's basically you have a limited amount of negative uses that you're going to get out of Robitussin. You're probably going to pass out before you drink enough to kill yourself, or you're going to throw up because it's too much.
Throw up, probably, yeah.
Yes. The LD50 for Robitussin is pretty high. You have to ingest a lot to really hurt yourself, which is why it's not a controlled substance, but they probably will card you if you're under 18 if you buy Robitussin cough syrup. And then the amphetamines, the good stuff, the Sudafed, that's behind the counter because it doesn't take much. They know that in small doses, it's still speed.
Oh yeah.
So I always go like, hey, I need some real Sudafed here. What do you guys got back there? They're like, well, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. What do you have? They're always like suspicious. I said, I just want Sudafed. I don't want it packed with anything. I don't need it with Mucinex. I don't need it with Tylenol. Tylenol causes retardism now. I don't want that. And they're like, well, sir, how much would you like? I said, what's the price point on what's the max I can buy right now without getting in trouble? Well, you can buy. Well, why do you ask? I shop for Sudafed like once every 2 years. I just stock up. Guys, if I was I wouldn't be here. You're
Right.
like, yeah, smurfing. It's called smurfing because that's the color my asshole turned after I stuffed all that Sudafed in it. Blue. Got to get it somewhere. So like, that's not why it's called smurfing. I'm like, or because you go get a little bit at a time. Let's make meth. So, anyways, 96. Get 96 tablets, red ones. You can buy those with your ID that day. I'm like, I'll take 96. Like, well, that's going to be your max for today. I'm like, do you think I was coming back today?
Right.
How soon, how soon can I get another 96? And they're like, 24 hours. Well, that's easy. He said, at what point are you guys going to turn me in if I came back every day at the same time about another 96? Give you my license, you plug it in the system. You can't
It's
red
been
flag.
20, right? 24
I'm
hours
under-
and 1 minute.
I'm under
24
the
hours and
amount.
1 minute.
That's right. That's right. You won't let me do it through the drive-through. I got to come in and stand in line so I can buy fucking Sudafed. But it's fun to harass people. But I was like, all right, so you guys, thanks for that. And the Robitussin, and the scissor, and the Jolly Ranchers, and the styrofoam cup, and the pacifier.
Ooh.
Daddy's going sideways tonight.
Oh,
Guys,
Lord.
mix it with alcohol. Do I mix it with alcohol? Anyone?
The reflection from the light makes it look like I'm jug lights coming down off. Sorry, that distracted squirrel. Sorry. Oops. I just noticed that.
Pharmacists never tell me what the meds are for because I always interrupt them. Even if it's
Go
nothing.
figure.
I know, right? They're like, this is called Flexeril. I'm like, yeah, make me flexible. They're like that's not. Maybe I don't know. That's what they call Flexeril. To be flexible, muscle relaxer. It's good. I said, so with tequila or with no tequila? With tequila, no tequila, tequila. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. This guy's fine. Give him his stuff. With tequila. All right. They're like, have fun. There was a time when I was picking up all controlled substances. I was newly divorced and I lived with my doctor. We're gonna pharmaceutically try and fix you. I was on Adderall, which is speed. I was on testosterone, which is man juice, and then I was also on, I think I had an opiate of some sort. Oh, I was on morphine, 90 milligram morphine for my back or for fun. I was on Xanax, 2 milligrams. I was on Soma, muscle relaxer, 40 milligrams. Those are the best. Somas are the best.
Oh my God.
Soma is the one medication outside of Rohypnol that will forces you into REM sleep. Did you know that?
Yeah. It's the only time I sleep normal, but I have not been on
the most restorative, and it synthesizes into a barbiturate after you take it, just like Rohypnol, which is why they're really cautious with it.
Yeah, I was on it for years and years with either Vicodin or Percocet because it seems like every 6 months they would have to switch me because I would hit my ceiling.
Yep.
And it was working more. And so like every it just kind of got in the routine of 6 months, let's switch it, like regardless of if I complained or not, it just got in that routine. And I was on Soma. So by the time I was hitting that ceiling of the medication, of the Vicodin or the Percocet, and I was on the Soma. Oh yeah, no. When I say there's sections of my 30s that I don't remember, there really is sections of my 30s I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was because I was way over medicated at many different points in my life. I mean, granted,
better living through chemistry, you would say.
Yeah. Some of it was legit, but I always had doctors that let me push it.
Yeah.
Past the limit. You should have stopped a while ago, like 3 doses ago. Yeah. Sure, why not, Missy? Sure, why not, Missy? Sure, why not? Yeah, at some point I had to. Well, I moved to California, and then I don't want to do that shit anymore. So.
Yeah, Trump got elected, and then he was like, "We're going to clean this shit up," and he actually did. I mean, he cleaned up a lot of it. Yeah, a lot. Where before that, it was, you stub your toe. How about some OxyContin? It's not addictive. Fuck yeah.
When I broke my leg,
30 milligram blues, delicious.
Ugh.
fucking high for 4 years.
When I broke my leg and I didn't know that I broke my leg, but it's eh.
Click,
And I went
click,
into my
click, click.
my
Got a
primary.
broken bone.
Yeah. And they're like, he's like, does it hurt? I'm like, honestly, not a lot. But every once in a while, like at the end of the day, it gets really achy and it does start to hurt and then it does interrupt and it disturb my when I try to sleep because it's achy, more so than like my back or whatever.
You know, what can I get for the
So
icky?
I guess if it was me saying this, I'm gonna say achy, but if a person that has like a normal pain thresh tolerance were
Right.
sitting next to me, they
Yeah.
would probably say they were like at like a 6 every
6, yeah,
day and like
solid
by an
6.
8 or a 9 at night, And I'm like,
Right.
but me, I'm muddling through it. He's
Right.
like, do you want something really mild just so you can take it night? And I probably sat there for like 3 or 4 minutes going, uh, and, no, no, well, maybe, no, no. And he's
What
like,
do
you
you
know
got?
what?
What do you got? Fentanyl. It's
He
the
goes,
new drug.
no, no, that almost killed me, dude. No, no
Mhm.
fentanyl, no fentanyl patches. No,
I did fentanyl patches too.
that put me in the hospital intubated,
I remember you told me.
literally. Yeah, no, no fentanyl patches.
I
No,
was
he
on
just gave
over
me,
three. I was on 300 milligrams of oxy a day plus 150 microgram transdermal patch every 3 days, simultaneous. Kids were not allowed to touch me. Don't hug your father; you'll die. 'Cause you're toxic.
yeah.
Child, if a child comes in contact with fentanyl,
Mm,
they just stop breathing and they die.
really.
Yeah, bad. That's why everyone's
Shitty
dying
thing
on
is,
100,000 people dying in a year on fentanyl.
shitty thing is, out of those 100 micrograms patches,
Mhm.
I'd used one because that first one is what put me over the edge of respiratory failure. So I had 14 more. I think there were 15 in a 10 or 15 in a box. So I had 9 or
Yeah.
14 more. I don't remember, whatever it was. And I knew that I was planning on moving to Cali soon, and I knew with the insurance change and blah blah blah
Right.
blah, and I would be off of pain meds. So my plan, the reason I kept them was I was going to cut them into very
Yep.
small little doses so that I
Yep.
could have something in my system as I tried to, come off of it.
Yeah.
So I saved them.
A little between the cheek and gum.
And
You ever put them in your mouth?
no. I
Yeah,
followed the rules.
that
I
shit absorbs fast in your mouth.
see the
Oral
shitty thing is
mucosal
almost
fast, and you're like, oh, you start to nod out, and you're like, take it out before you pass out.
oh it almost killed me, and I followed the rules to the T. I followed
Yeah.
all the rules. But I saved these thinking when the move was coming. Well, thank goodness for the last 2 months before I had already started to wean myself off of the Percocets, knowing and all of it, the muscle relaxers and all of it, because I knew what was going to happen when I moved. It was going to take me time, and I didn't want all this shit to like crash out of my system.
Yeah, there's a lot to contend with.
So yeah, so for 2 months I slowly weaned myself off, and then I also had enough for another month of continuous coming off of it when I moved
Yep.
here. Thank God, because when I was packing, I was like, oh, I forgot I have those fentanyl patches. Those were my backup, right? And I looked, my box was still in my drawer. That's hidden underneath all of my underwear and socks and everything, like up underneath in the back of the drawer. And the fucking box was empty.
What?
Empty. I had 2 brothers and a sister-in-law that all druggies that live next to me. I still
Oh
to this day
no.
don't know which one of them took it, but one of those 3 came in and went through my shit and took them. And they all knew they were there. Unfortunately, I tried to hide them, but they knew that I had them.
Can't
I
hide dope
was
from a druggie.
I was so fucking pissed. I was like, they're
You're like,
lucky
oh.
that they're not here anymore. Like they're not here. Like they used to live right next to me or lived with me. They're lucky none of them are around for me to get my hands on right now. I was so pissed.
That's
Thank God
brutal.
I'd weaned myself down for 2 months and not relied on them.
Yeah,
That would have
no
been
joke.
bad.
But you know
Would've
that
been
safety net, especially when you're guys, I do not recommend. We call it habituation. Okay, we didn't call it addiction. You become habituated. That's what middle-aged white folk, when they're addicted, they're habituated. So we're not addicts. But I spent due to my tumor on my spine, I had legit issues, and they were being prescribed. Everything was being prescribed as it was acceptable at the time.
Yeah.
They don't realize the long-term effects that it has on you, and people don't get that. It's brutal. I got off of the narcs using kratom, actually, which is that it's like green tea powder from a plant in Indonesia called Mitragyna spicosa. Kratom has been used for years and years and years locally, and you can get it at head shops. It's legal over the counter, which is crazy because it's an opiate substitute. So it binds to your
Wow.
opioid receptors, and it has the same effect.
For pain
Um,
management?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
In California?
everywhere.
How do you
You
spell
can
it? It's
you can buy it
Sierra K.
you can buy it at a head shop. When I was in California, remember my back was all fucked because I didn't realize my leg had jammed up inside the fucking hip socket.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
mm,
I remember her saying that Julie saying she
Julie
gave you
Julie
some.
gave me some. Now I had like a quarter kilo in my. It's funny they sell it in that kilos. I had a quarter kilo in my freezer at home in Tucson, but I literally I don't use it. It's there. But I literally used it to get off of hardcore narcotics. I weaned myself by making a green tea slurry and drinking that and getting off the narcs because I couldn't cold turkey. I couldn't wean myself down low enough that when I went like to zero, it didn't make me want to scream. Like I was doing all this while working full. I didn't take time off. I was detoxing and working and taking care of my family. This is brutal. It's brutal. I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Really don't.
No.
They for my back, my broken back I have now. My ex-wife said, "Hey, you got a butt." Yesterday, she's or a couple days ago, I think she stopped by for a quickie or something like that. I'm joking, Rebecca. It's a joke. She stopped by to pick up Hannah's stuffed animals that she left here, and her computer charger. And she goes, "Hey, you got a butt. How'd you get a butt? You're almost 50 years old. You never had a butt." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Oh, it's because you walk hunched over because of your broken back."
Ah.
And I said, "Yeah, good news, bad news. Your back is broken, but you're gonna
You
have a
got a
booty.
butt.
You got a
Right?
booty. And you're a little shorter. You're a lot shorter than Mama Fox expected, but
I'm never gonna live that down ever.
you're a
in
little
life.
shorter otherwise." But even going through this, I've been offered, even though they're reluctant, I've been offered, painkillers. What can we do? What do you need? Nothing. I'm good. You sure? I'm good. Well, we can give you some of the. I mean, I can see that you're obviously suffering. We don't want you to suffer. Like the point is, we're not trying to get you high or anything. I'm like, look, I went through this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And let's just say that 10 years, my marriage failed. I had to start my life over again. I almost didn't make it. Change jobs and careers. I'm like, let's just say it's not worth it.
Nope.
I can't tell you that for sure it was causal, but I can tell you that it wasn't not causal to the problems that I had in my life, because in the back of your head, when you're always worried about whether or not the prescription is going to run out.
Yeah.
I understand why people would switch to heroin. Like if they didn't have a prescription and they got hooked, I get it. It's cheap. It's available, right? I'm lucky that I'm a middle class white person, so I always had the availability of a renewal. But I can't even think of how many hours I spent of my life thinking about how many pills do I have left? When's my renewal? Am I over? Am I on track? I'm not overusing them, but I know that I couldn't go without them.
Yeah.
Like what time will they open that safe? And what time will they release that new prescription for me? Do I have the money for it? Like that was a few years of my life. It was like 18 months leading up to the surgery, and about 9 months to a year, about 9 months after, I got clear myself. Like I'm not doing Suboxone, I'm not doing methadone. I'm not just going to replace it with something that I can't confidently replace with something else with nothing. So against the best wishes of my doctor, he's like, I don't know, but the kratom thing, I've heard about it. He taught me about it. He's like, I've heard about it. I don't know anyone who's ever successfully used it, except I meet people who are ex-junkies who use it, who are patients of mine who swear by it. And I'm like, that's good enough for me, because that's the direction I'm going to be going if I don't get a hold of this.
Right.
So yeah, it's amazing, that fucking tea. In some parts of Indonesia, because their heroin trade is their economy, in some parts of Indonesia, it's illegal, punishable by death, to use that, to use kratom or kratom, some people call it, not just kratom. The reason it's illegal to have it in some of those provincial territories is because they know that people will use that over heroin, and they don't want people not using the heroin.
Right. Wow.
And then most families have a tree, and I've watched documentaries on it. Families will have a tree that has been their tree. It's their thing. It's been in their family. It will always be in their family. If they have to move, they take the tree with them, replant it, and that's their thing. And they say in small doses it acts as more of a stimulant, and higher doses more as a sedative. And I can say that from my experience, it's also true. And then they have a bunch of different varieties, like Mangda, Red Valley, Green Valley, Elephant strain. They have all these different strains, they call it. It's the same plant. It's just how the leaf is treated afterwards that gives it a different variety. So it's the same plant, 100%. Mangda means pimp grade. Pimp, P-I-M-P. They say Mangda is the most, they say it's the most potent, but it's, I didn't notice the difference. I got Elephant the last time I did because I was like, it sounds big. But everybody, you always have your addicts who are like the specialists, you know,
the connoisseurs,
right? It's a little red vein with a little Mangda and a little Elephant. Yeah, you're good. And I'm like, guys, it's the same plant.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So you age it a little longer in the sun, or you toast it a little longer in the oven. I don't know, but as far as I can tell, it's the same, but very effective. A lot of people use it as a supplement now for when they're working out. They'll go to work out, they'll take pre-workout, they'll take some kratom, because it alleviates pain. It does. Say no to drugs. Shelf Help Show.
Right. My hips are just getting worse and worse, and my lower back is getting really bad again. And I don't want to go back on pain. I don't want to go back to pain management. I did it for way too long and got in the throes of that, and then took months and months to get myself down and out of it. And I won't go back. But God damn, no, I don't want to do that again. But some days just getting up is a challenge, and some days once I get up at 10, by noon I'm done. You know, I can't see my lower back and my hips. I just can't. Some days I'm in a lot of pain. So I can do something that help alleviate it, even slightly, just a little bit.
It takes the edge off. Again, it's an opioid agonist. So it binds to the opiate receptor in your brain, and it's actually the opposite one that over the prescription narcotics bind to. So you have a ISO receptor and you have a MU receptor, MUU. And the MU receptors are where the chemical binds up that tells you that you're pain-free when you're taking regular opiates. It goes to the MU receptor and it binds those receptors, and it stops those receptors from reacting to the pain. So as those receptors are bound, your body says everything's okay. And that's why you feel euphoric, because it's not sending out pain signals going, something's wrong.
Right.
That's what hurts, guys. Something's wrong. It's a signal.
Yeah.
Oh, something's wrong, and here's where it's wrong. That's the reaction of those opiate receptors pumping the chemical out that says you're having a problem. You should check this out. You could die.
Yeah. Yeah.
You take those pills, take the heroin, whatever, it binds on that receptor, and then your body says everything's good. You're chill as fuck.
See,
there's no pain.
Mine always just went, it's just better. I was never
better.
like pain-free until
right?
it was either like it's better. Okay, now I'm asleep. Like there was once the pain-free was like too much over the edge, and I was just out.
Hyperalgesia is a thing. So what most people also don't realize is that when you're taking narcotics and you bind that opiate receptor, you get hyperalgesia, which makes you more sensitive to actual pain that can get through.
Yes.
So you have a limited effect of positive, and then the negative effect is like orders of magnitude greater. So you actually become more sensitive to pain by being on opiate.
Yeah.
So there's that constant fuck with your brain and fuck with your body, is because you take the opiates in for the first couple of days, you're like, yeah, I could live like this for the rest of my life and be happy, and this is great. But eventually that happy kind of goes away. And then when the pain actually hits, you're like, fuck, like that's so much worse. I'm obviously in pain, but you don't realize though, it's your brain, it's your fucking brain going like, something's still wrong. I mean, we're muted. We're not screaming all the time, but like
when they do scream, they scream even louder.
Yes. So you'll have hyperalgesia and you think that the pain is worse, which means you think you need to take more opiates, which means there you go. You get to the point where your brain is told to stop all productions of endorphins and dopamine, which is you're going for dopamine. That's why you're a dope addict. So because those receptors are constantly full, your brain says, everything's good here, guys. Let's just shut down the factory. Yeah. And then you shut down the factory and you're not creating dopamine for anything. Dopamine runs more fucking parts of your fucking brain and body than just the pain. So now you have the compounding effect. Dope fiends are always looking for that feeling of like, yeah, give me that rush, give me that feeling, give me that thing, that euphoria. Let me feel good. And then you get in this vicious cycle of, it's kind of dread. It becomes a dread cycle. Yeah, it feels better to be on it than off it. You don't want to trade it for anything, but it doesn't mean you're happy about it anymore. Right. And you don't realize you're fucked. You're just chasing the absence of pain.
Right. Because if you're a person that's in true pain, you're not chasing the high. The addicts that are in it for the high, they're chasing the high, whether they're taking the same med or not. You're taking it for different reasons. So you have the people that are just chasing the high, and then those of us that are actually in true pain, that we're just chasing the pain free.
The absence of pain, right?
The absence of pain. You're chasing that, and just continues to get further and further away from you in both scenarios.
Yep.
Because what you used to feel, like you said, that hyperalgesia.
Hyperalgesia,
yeah.
Algesia,
it causes it to get further and further away from you, and for both reasons you end up in a chase, and you will always be behind in that chase. You will never win.
You will not
win. Mm-hmm. It's just not how our bodies are made.
I like the pain now in hindsight, because I know that it's temporary, and I know that my body will create the environment necessary to offset it. And if it goes to a point where now I can't handle it, then that means I need to be very acutely aware of what's going on and make an adjustment myself.
Exactly.
That's when I'm like, I can't think anymore. When I saw you in San Diego, I was in so much pain that but I was so busy. I'm hustling through airports. I'm spending all this time traveling, which I hadn't had to do. And that was exhausting. I couldn't pinpoint that there's this one thing that happens to me sometimes that creates a cascade effect of I'm fucked, which is when one leg becomes shorter than the other. Referred pain is horrible. So my right leg goes up into my hip because I have failed spine syndrome from my first surgery. So the arch in my back, although Lisa would say is creating an ass, starts to flatten. that natural arch you have
Mhm.
starts to flatten. And when that flattens out, then now you can't the pivot point where your hips and your sockets are, they become misaligned. Because it doesn't have that natural, like where it
Space.
locks in place, right? And it's
Right.
like this, like sliding.
Mm.
It took me fucking 3 days to figure out, like, why can't I can't think straight. God, I'm such an angry asshole. And I was like, oh, the first thing, it's not just the damage that I have from last year. It's the damage I have from 10 years ago. Hey, somebody helped me pull my leg out of the fucking joint. And I was like, oh, this is so much better. I just needed to lay on the ground and have somebody
Yank
straddle
on my leg.
like, and then I push it, and I'm like, oh, it's so much better. That's the fucked up thing about pain. That's why it's not hard to get addicted to searching for lack of pain,
Right.
because I couldn't rationalize what was going on with myself. I just knew, hey, just keep moving forward.
All right. Keep going.
Just
Keep going.
moving
Keep going.
forward. Maybe you can have some rum. That might help. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you're gonna look in, this is not medical advice for anybody aside from, like, don't get hooked on pills. It's horrible. That's my medical advice. The kratom.
We're
If
not
you buy
licensed
it,
professionals
we're not licensed professional. This is what do we
at
call this?
anything.
What do we call it? This is
Amateur hour. Sorry.
parody. This is parody,
Yeah,
guys.
parody. Yeah.
It's parody. It's commentary.
Take
That's
it with a
it.
grain of salt.
Making jokes. Buying kratom wholesale is a better way to go about it. If you go to a head shop, they have different brands that will have pills, and they're individualized, and sure, it'll weigh out, doses for you and whatnot. But it's like going to a butcher. The more work they have to do to present the meat, the more expensive it's going to be.
Right.
Right. More hands involved. You're like, why is this diced fucking sliced steak $9 a pound, and then this piece is $3 a pound? Because you got to put labor into it.
Mhm.
Buy wholesale online. I'll show you what it looks like. Do your own research. Make sure it's something that you want to do. But
Yeah.
from a price point standpoint, if you want to try something, try it wherever. But
As I say, I think I might try, like, from a head shop, just because I could get a small amount.
yeah,
Try it.
yeah,
If it works, then yeah.
try it that way. And then trust me, I spent $3,000 getting clean from the opiates with the kratom that I bought. And I bought it from a guy who was a wholesaler, but it was still like selling it out of vending machines and not in all the head shops yet. So this is 10 years ago. Yeah, it cost me a lot of money. I was spending like $1,000 a month every 3 weeks on kratom. I didn't realize this motherfucker until I made friends with him, and then I hung out with him, and then he started getting USPS deliveries to his house in 40-pound blocks. He was getting, like, really 20 kilograms at a time, and you just got 10 boxes delivered.
Yeah. Your mom's on Facebook. She said hi, son.
Hi, Mama. Love you, Mom. Yeah, when I found out how much he was getting it for, like nothing, because he was buying it wholesale, I'm like, dude, you are making more than a heroin dealer selling this fucking, green tea stuff. And I was like, yeah, I said, I need to re-up one more time, and you better give me a deal, like, for free. Because I realized I've been the one paying for I just bought 50 kilos worth of kratom so you can go sell it to other people at a profit.
Right. Oh, she said, love you both. Hi.
Yay, Mama. So check it out. You can see it online. So I just put in kratom wholesalers, cheap kratom, kratomcrush.us, easykratom.com. See if I can remember. Wholesale kratom and bulk custom orders, buykratom.us, Super Spacosia, Best 5 Kratom wholesale distributors.
Too slick. Oh, okay, that's
Kratom
fine.
Roots
Okay.
wholesale, 21. I forget the 79 a kilo.
$79 kilo. Woo!
That's a really good price because you're gonna spend $60 on a jar of 50 pills, which is nowhere near.
So
All
this
right.
comes in pill form though, when you buy it like this, or
Yeah, they'll
oh, okay, okay.
they'll send it to you anywhere. California included. If for any reason
Ah.
California has a restriction, let me know and I'll get it here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Shop premium kratom, fair pricing. This coming from a former opiate addict. I promise you. So the Green Valley Kratom starting at $17, 250 grams. No, screw that. Let's look for some big bags.
So how much is each capsule though? How many grams is?
Let's click on it and see what it says. I would do mine by weight or by teaspoon, by volume, because it's a very fine powder.
Yeah.
Bhutan's Kratom Green Mangda, remember pimp grade. Kratom capsules promote an energetic and balanced lifestyle. Capsule size, choose an option. You want 500 milligrams or 1,000? 1,000 milligrams is what, a teaspoon? I think that's a conversion by weight, by volume. It's like a teaspoon, basically.
Okay.
So.
You can remember I've been on a lot of meds and I have a very high pain tolerance. So when I say I'm at say just a 5, most people would be crying in ER room.
Right.
You know?
So let's say we want 1,000 capsules at 1,000 milligrams per capsule, 195.
$200.
Let's say we wanted 50 capsules at 1,000, it'd be $25.
That's not bad.
That's a good deal, actually. The
Yeah.
head shop is going to cost you twice as much.
Really? Okay.
So the fact that
Well,
you can custom do it is kind of cool. So capsules or grams.
Do you take them once a day or?
Yeah, I think if I remember, the dosing is very similar. It's however long it's half hour to kick in, just like anything you're putting through that Krebs cycle.
Yeah.
And then probably lasts for like 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, so a couple of times, maybe in the morning and in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
That's not bad.
when I've done it, luckily I kicked that addiction a long time ago, but times when I was like stressed, under a lot of stress or pressure, anxiety, whatever, I would get fatigued at work. Now I took higher, like kind of like you, I took higher doses than anybody I knew who took it otherwise.
Yeah.
They're like, I take 2 teaspoons. And I'm like, oh, I take like 2 tablespoons. Significantly more. But
Yeah.
like if I was fatigued at work, it's really kind of interesting because it reminds me of like the people in Peru who chew on the coca leaves with the ash.
Right. Right.
And it has that effect. They can keep marching and keep going. The Peruvian marching powder, so to speak, it works very much like that. I would get fatigued around 2:00 in the afternoon. I would take maybe a couple of teaspoons worth, shake it up with some water and chug it. And then, yeah, it would lift my spirits. I'd be like good to go. It wouldn't be sideways or weird. But then I could come home and let's say I was racing thoughts and I just want to watch this documentary and not think about anything. And, I would take like 2 tablespoons, 2 doses, shake that shit up and drink it. And then within about an hour, I was like sideways. Like, and you can feel like high. They're like, oh, wow. And I dose my kids to check, and it's true. They got fucked up too. So. I had Hunter take it a couple of years back. I was like, hey, who's complaining he had a headache? And he had, I guess he was a freshman in high school because he had hurt himself working out. He worked out every day. He got all ripped and shit. and he pulled a muscle, and he was in a lot of
Oh.
pain. Dad, do you have any Tylenol or anything like that? I'm like, nah, but I got this kratom powder. You want to give it a shot? And he's like, what is it? I'm like, it's like heroin, but it's legal. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I would lie to you otherwise, but I mean, he goes, well, how long does it take to work? I said, same as an edible. Now, I didn't know if he was smoking weed back then or doing weed. And he was like, oh, about 45 minutes. I was like, what?
Ah.
I said, it takes about, yes,
Wow.
it takes about as long as it does to get to your large intestine, and then it'll start to absorb. So I said, a little bit absorbs in your stomach, a little bit absorbs in your small intestine, a little bit in your large intestine. That's kind of the order it goes. He's like, well, cool. What if you put it through your butt?
Oh Lord.
You might be able to do it the opposite. You might be able to get high faster. I'm just saying, let's not do that.
No.
I'll make you a recommended dose based on your body weight. You can drink it. So he's like, oh, it tastes awful. I'm like, everything everything that is good tastes like shit. Man. You're gonna eat some ass, it's gonna taste dirty. I just eat it. Like, don't worry, you like it.
Oh,
No,
of course you would go there.
it tastes like matcha powder or green tea. If it's in a capsule, you won't taste it till you burp.
Yeah. Oh, I don't burp a lot. Thank God.
It's a little earthy. But yeah, no, I gave it to him, and I checked in like an hour later. I was like, how you feeling? He's like, it doesn't hurt. I feel fine. And he's like, I feel good. What the hell is that? I'm like, I told you, it's all natural, legal. Do you want more? He's like, I kind of do. I'm like, cool. Now I'm gonna give you a tablespoon. And then he was like, I'm high as fuck, Dad.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want.
he
I don't
didn't
get
care.
high. Right. Yeah.
He never chased it. He was like, that was fun, but no, I'm good.
Yeah. So I don't want to get high. Maybe one of these, one of our podcasts, I would do it just to see.
Yeah.
Just be like, warning, guys. Warning, I'm gonna be high as fuck.
Yeah, you go sideways.
Could be interesting. It could be interesting. But I bring this up, and this is great that we're talking about this because I haven't been in the pool a lot lately. I went in today and literally I only lasted half an hour. And now I'm used to like minimum of 2 hours of constant walking. And I read and just constant walking. And I literally forced myself to make half an hour today. And I haven't been in for like 3 days. It's too much. Just what used to be so relaxing and felt so good to my body now hurts me. It hurts. 5 minutes in, I'm like, oh my God, I'm bending, I'm leaning, I'm trying to walk in all these funky, with my lower back, in these weird positions. And I'm like, I've got today at one point, I was leaned so far forward that my boobs are in the water, my chin's in the water, and I've got my
your buoys.
I was reading my my Nook, so it's up like this. I'm reading like this because it's the only way I could continue to walk with my back. And I'd only been in like 20 minutes, and I was like, can I get 10 more minutes, please? Like at least. And I pushed myself, and I shouldn't have, because I'm paying the price tonight.
Whatever. Just ask the question. What part of hypomania plays into fatigue, physical fatigue?
So for me, it's because I am going, and I will push my body, and then my body, I hurt myself. I end up, because my brain won't let me stop. I hurt my body physically.
You wear yourself out.
I wear myself out. Yeah.
So
and then I don't sleep at night, so I'm not sleeping, so I'm not getting restorative. You know, I'm not healing anything that I've pulled and stretched and muscle wise, ligament wise, all that. None of that's getting restored during sleep because I'm not sleeping long enough. So
you need 4 hours. What does it take to get you 4 hours of sleep? That'll 4 hours of sleep would put you through 2 REM cycles. That would be fucking perfect.
That is me either not sleeping in my bed, because when I go someplace else, like a hotel room or somebody else's house, I sleep for like 7 or 8 hours. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I
Remember
remember.
at the house, I slept
Yeah,
what 3 nights, and then the hotel. It was so great. I still wake up every 2 hours to go pee. Doesn't
that's
matter where I'm
fine. But
at.
you can go back to bed
Gonna wake up,
without
but I would.
something. These
Yeah,
glasses look like me, just so you
I
know.
know.
I
Yeah, I
don't
know.
even fucking realize that I'm wearing fake
I,
glasses.
I didn't even realize it for the longest time until you started messing. I was like, oh yeah, those were just a filter.
They're
Oops.
fake. That's hilarious. Uh,
When I was up at the house of Mam Helix, I would wake up 2 hours, go pee, come back in, lay down, and go right back to sleep. And now here at my house, that does not happen.
can you
Maybe if
rearrange?
I
Can you
have so many.
rearrange your room?
I just did it not too long ago.
Did you? You
Yeah,
move where
because
where your bed is and your line of sight?
huh?
Do you move your bed so you change your line of sight for when you're
Oh
when
yeah,
you're in bed
each
and you're
time.
used to looking at certain spots? Like I used to find when I was growing up, my mom could attest to this. I had a like 8 by 8 jail cell bedroom with 6 pieces of furniture. I would draw a diagram on where I can move the bookshelf, the credenza, the end table, and the bed so I can change. And I only had 3 walls that were workable. The other one was a closet. So
Yeah,
um,
this is my closet. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Eventually
actually
I found
have.
you can put the bed in the closet
I've done that.
and that helped a
Right
lot.
now, right now, my desk is right here, technically my desk, but this is my table, but it is in my closet. That's why
Mhm.
I had to get the ring light, because I'm in the cave.
Yeah.
It's too dark. I actually move around my bed a lot, and I actually last time I was wanting to get something totally different. 2 times ago, I think. I usually do it twice a year. It's really difficult because I have big furniture and only 3 walls. But I took graph paper and I measured everything and I drew it out of the graph paper, proportionate
That was
wise,
me.
and,
That was
and then
me.
I cut them out, and then I drew on the graph paper the inlets on the closet everywhere, and so I had actual the pieces of paper that I could
Yeah.
move around, and it was
Figure out how to
all.
rearrange. Yeah.
Yep, I've done twice now. I've done that. They're tucked over on my desk. I still have, because I'm like, I don't want to remeasure every time because I know I'm going to do this again. So I have them all in an
Yeah.
envelope with my graph paper, and I will just pull them out, just be like, okay, where am I moving now?
How tall is your bed? Like, is
Uh,
it up? Like,
it's up a little bit. I have to leave. I can't just, if I turn and sit it, I don't sit down. I sit
yeah.
on it. Like
Okay.
it's,
So it's tall.
yeah, it's a bit tall.
So like doggy style, somebody would need to have a booster to get up high enough.
No,
But
probably not. If they,
oh,
as long as
okay.
they weren't shorter than me,
If
it
you're
would work.
dang okay. All right. All right. So I always like picture bed heights with like, can I walk into it? Or am I gonna have to work for it?
Yeah,
So if you could lay back with your knees up and I could walk into it, then that's a perfect height. If I get if I get a tippy
no,
toe or get a bench or get up on the bed in order to make it happen, then that's extra effort.
yeah,
We're just swing.
my bed has never been had other than myself, never had sex in it.
Well, you're welcome. Now you can think
Nope,
about
yep.
it. Like, well,
Ah.
you're gonna be laid on your bed with your knees up. You'll be like, walk into it, son. Walk into it.
And then I'm gonna say, God damn you, Jeffrey.
Damn it, Daddy. I mean, Jeff.
Oh, no, no, no.
Good girl. Good girl. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, good girl. It's my baby.
I would say
uh,
it is tall enough because it has the pillow top little part.
mhm.
It is tall enough that when I go to like, I don't turn around and sit on it to get into bed because
Yeah.
I lay with my head far in. So I'll put my knee on the mattress. I broke a spring because I put my knee. I have
You
to
need
get
the
up
leverage to get
onto
up on
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put my knee onto it and then like bounce myself into it. Yeah, I busted that spring on like my last 3 mattresses. I don't.
So I found something that, I had sleep issues forever, right? So
Mhm.
panic attacks, astral projecting. Oh, Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Uh-oh.
That fucking my buddy doll right there.
No, I don't. I don't.
Sorry.
Did it get you?
It just
I don't.
maybe I forgot that I moved him over to right in front of the
Let's say I
bathroom.
don't. I don't see him.
I know he's over there. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Go.
I forgot. That was funny. That was uncomfortable. So sleep, what do they call it? Sleep
Insomnia? Sleep
health,
apnea? I don't
sleep,
know. Oh.
sleep. I don't know what the fuck they call it, but I realized for myself that there were certain ways I could be in bed and feel like secure and feel minimize what my brain would perceive as potential threat zones. Because I was on high alert. I was always on high alert for myself that I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be I'm going to be stuck between here and the dark place screaming and hurting people, or I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be out in the dark place floating around and don't realize how the fuck I got there. There's always this
Right.
fear of somewhere between here and there, right? Somewhere between alpha, beta, delta. If I can get to delta safely, then I was good. But it's like alpha waves was fucking me up the most, which is when you wake up from REM, or you wake up and you have that kind of sense of numb euphoria where you're like, I'm awake, I'm up, I'm gonna go pee, I'm gonna do this, but you're detached from emotion. You're not having a feeling about anything. You're not having a memory of having a feeling. You're not worrying about a goddamn thing because there's no worry to be had in that alpha zone. It's a good place to be. And that's why I learned how to meditate, so I can get myself to that place because it's a safe place to be. But what another thing that I found out, and I know because when I think about it, I can literally feel the safety that comes from it, was that I would feel exposed in certain aspects to whatever's around me, whatever's not around me, it didn't matter. If I could change if I could change how I physically slept, and I didn't realize I was doing it as a child, I would, have my covers up over my head maybe. But I knew, like, in my head, I thought anything that's exposed outside of that is vulnerable. So my feet can't dangle. I can't be outside of that blanket. I would feel safe if I took my stuffed animal and I put him up next to me, between me and the outside of my bed, side of the wall, my exposed side, under the cover, pillows. And I would try and kind of barricade myself. I knew that if I physically could barricade myself, I would feel safer, and I could actually then drift into delta and go to sleep. It was it wasn't until I got a little older that I would start to take into account times where I slept better, like sleep hygiene. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Sleep hygiene. I used to have very specific routines and then an environment that I would create in order for me to sleep well. I found that if I was sleeping on the ground and I was sleeping low to the ground, it's definitely in a sleeping bag low to the ground, where I was at, I at least had like 2 walls protected. I realized that it was taking away the unknown beneath me. Not that I was afraid of anything beneath me. I wasn't, but I didn't realize that mentally it was an exposure of area there. I didn't feel grounded there. So the more grounded I could feel when I sleep, the better off I slept, which is why I loved sleeping at Bucky's house, because I slept on the floor with some rolled up blankets that I used for years, rolled up blankets and a pillow. But there was something about being on the ground that I felt secure. I felt immensely secure. And then his bed would be next to me, his closet would be over here, his dresser would be at my head, my feet would be open to the, whatever, the door, but no big deal, because the rest of me was very grounded. And then I realized when people came in, I wouldn't feel exposed even looking up. It was something about being, I don't know, low profile. it's like I didn't exist. Like the lower profile I was, the less profile that I created, the less my brain worried about protecting me. And that's the subconscious part that you got to deal with when your sleep hygiene is your brain is waking you up because it thinks that you're in threat.
Yeah.
Whether you're acknowledging it or not, those moments you wake up to pee, it's not really because you have to pee. It's a reflex. Your brain wakes you up because out of fear or out of concern, out of alert. Your
Yeah.
brain wakes you up on alert. Your body says, I must have to pee.
Right. Oh, while you're up, might as
That's
well.
your normal, right. That's your normal reaction. So you actually train yourself to not retain your urine at night because your brain goes, well, we must be up because we have to pee. Because we wouldn't wake up otherwise. Unless we had to piss or shit in an emergency, you don't wake up during that time. You stay asleep like normal people. So it becomes that awful circle. And I had to drink,
Yeah,
I had to sleep with a tumbler of water because I would wake up so often and have to pee so often that I was dehydrating myself when I didn't need to. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like I created these routines to make up for this horrible routine that I had, which was I handling my sleep hygiene properly. So Lisa and I were engaged to be married. We had a waterbed. I liked the waterbed.
I love mine. Yeah.
It's relatively comfortable, which is great. But something about that waterbed frame, it was grounded the way that waterbed frames are, right? They're not just tubes that are floating, right? You're not going to put anything underneath it unless it's a drawer.
Right.
And I didn't realize that wood frame on the ground and it's lower to the ground, then now change my perception. And so I felt like I was crawling into a cave, on that waterbed, and it felt safer. The waterbed popped on the second floor of our apartment, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I drained it before we killed anybody. Didn't realize I wasn't supposed to have it on the second floor of the apartment, but that's a lot of weight. Yeah. It popped, and we couldn't afford a mattress at first, so we threw blankets and those little styrofoam crazy mattress toppers from Walmart. We threw those down, and we made a makeshift mattress. We were like, I don't give a fuck at this point. It actually grew to be very comfortable. For her, it was more comfortable because I didn't get into bed and like bounce her up in the air.
Right.
Because our weight differential was extreme. Yeah. She's like, she
didn't lay on top of the bubble and keep rolling, right?
Yes. Yeah. She's like, our waterbed is so comfortable until you get in. So she's like, whoop.
Yeah.
Or she'd roll into me.
Bubble. Yeah.
She'd roll into the corner, roll into the side, roll into me. When that was gone, it was more comfortable for both of us too. And she was like, I can't believe I don't really want a mattress. So it's so strange because we got into the frame. And so not only did you have the high headboard, which is, that classic 70s porno and bookshelf and sliding drawers or whatever, the big piece of furniture. But we both had that feeling, and she would have sleep issues too. Where now the frame, we were inside the frame. So we had that, it was like we had a moat around us or a wall around us.
A wall, yeah.
We're down inside of it. Yeah. And we both slept so much better. And I'm like, it's just like, I feel like I disappear and I feel like I don't feel exposed. Then I think for a wedding or right before we got married, my folks got us a Sleep Number mattress that we put in there, which was a great mattress and whatnot, but it just changed that feeling. And for like 20 years from that point on, we were like, you remember when we just had, we didn't have enough money for a mattress and we had egg crates and fucking blankets. I'm like, yeah, that was so comfortable. We slept so well in there for so long.
Yeah.
And that's when that was when it was after, it was kind of like during that time. And that's when I kind of started to put those pieces together. And I'm like, well, what is different? I'm like, because it's the more grounded I am, the better it feels. And then why is it that if I'm at somebody else's house, I sleep better?
Yeah, I know. So many people are like, oh, I can't sleep when I'm not at home. I'm like, fucking take me out of my home. And I will sleep like there's no tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah. I just sleep better when I'm not at home. I
realize it's because my energy patterns had this routine attached to them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
not only was I not maximizing my sleep hygiene in the home where I was in, but I had all this anxiety and exposure to everything that could go wrong that was always running through my brain in the middle of the night. My brain's trying to solve, I'm putting all this energy into future problems that don't exist.
Right.
Because I'm there, that means it's possible.
Yeah.
So otherwise I got
It's
into wind chimes and fucking Gregorian chant and a little bit of incense, and like I had a very specific routine, like dark, quiet, soothing noises, good smells. Like Lisa was like, "You're so complicated," but it is very nice. It's like sleeping in a resort.
I have
So
my
yeah, wind
spray
chimes.
that I spray my pillow, a pillow
Mhm.
spray that's lavender and vanilla. Same as my lotion and my hand sanitizer. It's all the same scent.
Yeah,
So I don't
right.
have a different scents hitting me. I have all the same scent around
Yep.
me that I
Yep.
find calming and soothing. I I've tried all the different um like I've tried the white noise, I've tried the guided meditations for sleep. I mean, I've tried a shit ton of things. And most of them seem to work, but for a short amount of time for me. And it's like
Mhm.
then my brain goes, "Oh, I got your number. I know I'm going to make a loop around that." And then it loops around, it bypasses that, and it goes
Yeah.
right back into my normal routine.
Can,
So
can you
I
listen to audiobooks while you sleep?
no, because I stay too. I won't sleep because I'm like, no, I gotta know what happens next. I gotta know what happens next. If I'm watching YouTube and I doze off, I won't sleep more than like 10 minutes because I'll wake up going, oh shit, I fell asleep, I missed it, and I'll have to rewind.
Mm,
So I turn on just regular music, like the music that I listen to during the day. I
mhm,
turn it on, but just a lower volume at night.
mhm.
I just have Alexa turn it down one volume level, so that way it
Yeah,
can't be too low. Because if I can't hear the words, my mind's always trying to figure out the words.
right.
And if it's too loud, it's obviously too much distraction. So I have a good level at night, and I just play the songs that I know, so that way my brain doesn't have to think about what are they saying, what are the words. But it's funny that we're talking about this because as a kid, I did that too. I burrowed under my blankets. I always had one little hole so that when my head, I could breathe. So because I had to get fresh air. I couldn't have like the warm air. So I
Yep.
had like one little
Same.
spot in my blanket that would billow up and I would breathe through that. I can't do that now because I sleep too hot. I don't sleep with even a sheet or anything. I don't sleep with any covers.
Yeah.
So there's probably an exposure there, an exposure feeling there because I'm not
Yeah.
covered. But
Hmm.
I can't sleep when I get warm. I just can't. But it's funny because when I was a kid, I would like run across my room and jump like 3 steps away from my bed, because like
Yeah.
what's under the bed. And even as an adult, I mean, I don't run across my room and jump, but I don't walk straight up and put my toes under the edge of the bed. I'll just say that. I don't do that. I'm a good step away and I'll just like get onto the bed. But when we were up in Mount Helix and I was talking about when I were sitting, I think the first night, I think you guys were at the reunion and me and John were sitting out back talking.
Yeah.
We were just talking and I was saying how sometimes my restless leg syndrome gets really bad. And so I just have to lay and have my feet hang off the edge of the bed, the side of the bed, because I don't sleep long ways on the bed. I sleep short ways, like a little bit of an angle.
Yeah.
But I said, and I just have to kick my legs really hard because sometimes it's all I can do to get my legs to calm down. And he just goes, you let your feet hang off the edge of the bed? And I go, well, sometimes, because my ankles hurt too sometimes. So I got to get the pressure off them. He goes, and you don't use a blanket or a sheet. I go, no. He goes, the monsters can get your toes. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
at the time I was like, shut the fuck up, dude, whatever, right?
Right.
It hasn't bothered me in years, like many years.
Right.
Actively bothered me. Like 3 nights ago, I shit you not. My one foot was just the top of my foot was like kind of angled off of the edge of the bed, and I was almost asleep, and that fucking conversation popped in my head, and I was like, oh, my foot. I fucking pulled my leg up so fast that I hurt myself. I like pulled. I was like, oh god, that hurt. That hurt. That hurt.
That's
I like
hilarious.
got a Charlie horse. I was like, I had to rub the knot out of my muscle. I was the whole time I'm like, I fucking hate you, John. I hate you, John. It was like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, Oh, if he was fucking awake, I'd call him right now. I hate him right now. And
He put
since then,
on your fucking head.
yeah, he put it in my head. And since then, every night since then, I get almost comfortable, and I'm like, my first thought, are my feet hanging off the bed? Nope, can't have my feet hanging off the bed. Like, God, that was so comfortable. Now I gotta squish my leg up. God damn it. I hate you, John. I hate you, John. I hadn't had that thought for years, and now it's right here.
Think about putting your mattress on the floor.
I used to for a lot of years. I did.
Pull it down and sleep.
My only
sleep
problem with that is getting up is a problem.
What do you mean?
Getting back up out of bed to stand up is hard on me. Hard on my
If it's
body.
next, you could be if you were next to the bed, like if you just like took it and put it on the ground next to your bed, then you can use your bed as leverage to pull yourself up.
Yeah, I have a queen size. I don't think I would have any walking space.
It's okay. You only have to do it at bedtime.
Oh, this fucking mattress is so heavy. I can't even lift it up to tuck in sheets. I have to have my mom come
Shit.
help me. It is so heavy to
All right.
to move it. Oh,
Yeah. All right.
it's too heavy.
I think we need to get you a full size.
No, I love my queen.
No,
I've been
this
at
is
school.
just this is just temporary.
Just to
This
put
is
on the floor.
This is a rescue. What's the space under your bed look like? I mean, you have a bunch of crap under there. Is it a 4-post bed? Is it a?
No,
It's
it has it is elevated, but it has this post right in the center, so you can't slide like anything that's
because it's a
Well,
queen, so it needs that
the
space.
queen. So, and it doesn't have a box spring. It's one of those that it doesn't have the slats. It's all metal, and so that's the new thing is the frame is the box spring.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I noticed
So,
that they don't sell a lot of box springs, but it's
No.
that tall, and it's just a fucking mattress is like a 14-inch mattress.
Yeah.
So I think that the key is got to spend like $100 on like an 8-inch like memory foam, even like a twin size, just for rescue, because it won't hurt your joints.
Right.
Plus, you sleep diagonally anyways because you're a weirdo.
I know.
It's okay. I sleep on the couch or this fucking chair, so I'm a weirdo too.
Right. Yeah.
I find I'm grateful when I just fall forward onto my knees and then I wake up and I'm just head down on the floor. I'm like, that's so much better.
Right.
I didn't launch into the fucking box fan.
Yeah. I just had a vision of me. I literally just saw it in my head, my bed, and then the mattress next to my bed.
Yeah.
And me starting out laying on the mattress, and I'm going to end up laying instead of this way. I'm going to lay this way with just my head on the mattress. And my feet are going to be in my chair. I just had the vision of it. I was like, that's how I would end up asleep.
Or you're going to be on your knees on the twin size, and you're going to have your torso on the other bed, and you're going to be sleeping like that, which is fine as long as it's for longer than like an hour and a half.
Right?
That's the secret. But I honestly, I don't know if you would find it beneficial, but I want to challenge you to try it. And I have to remember this too. And this is what reminded me of it. I fell out of my chair properly the other night. And I forgot that it's adjustable. So, I made sure I wasn't at a level that I was going to throw myself into a goddamn fan.
That's just sad that we have to make that statement.
Yeah. My kids are like, Dad's insane. Dad's insane. Father, why don't you just go lay down? Why you wake me up?
I was asleep, damn it.
Father, please. What? Get on the couch. I almost made it. I woke up half. I
didn't hit the floor before I woke up.
On my knees with half of my body on the couch. And it felt so good. It felt so good. I felt so relaxed. Yeah. But I think I don't know, whatever. I think I fell this direction behind me, or I don't know. I woke up and I was between, there's like the desk, the chair, and luckily I had some clothes and I think I put my bath towel was right here, and I knocked them off of the little music bench that I had them on. And I wound up laying across the clothing between 3 things. And I woke up on my stomach. And I woke up and I'm like doing an assessment. Where am I?
Right.
real-
Yeah. Woo.
What parts hurt? Can I move my toes? Can I feel my legs? Because that's sometimes the problem. I can't feel my legs.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is going on? And I hear like my little rats in the cage next to my head. And I'm like, okay, I didn't knock the rats out of the cage. That's good. And then I was like, why does this feel so comfortable? And I realized I'm on the ground on my tummy. I was protected on 3 sides and I'm down low
Mhm.
and I felt safe. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, fuck. And that just all the memories came back into my head. I'm like, that feels safe. I would rather build a little fort and be on the ground here
right.
because I can grounding myself is important. I don't it is not just mentally, but mentally and physically.
Right. Okay.
I can,
I
can
will.
feel
I will look into that. And may take me a few days. And give something I'll figure something out, something a shot. Down
Nice.
down low, down the ground.
Yeah, just think about it. Like, and you might find that you're just like restless one night, and you're like, God, I just want to sleep. But our brains tell us to get up and do something. And as soon as you get up and you sit in the fucking chair, you're like, now I'm owned by the
Yeah.
fucking computer in front of me.
Right.
Your brain turns on. You don't necessarily want it on yet, and you're like, oh, God damn it. What's in between this and that? You might find that fucking throw your sleeping bag on the ground and just lay back down and with the sleeping bag and a pillow, and then see if you drift back off. You'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I think you'd be shocked. I think our energy is very similar in that regard.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
you could take the need to save the world away from yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When people ask me like, how long have you had sleeping problems? I'm like, my whole life I've had sleeping problems, but it got worse when I had to move away from my kids.
Mm.
5 years ago, it stopped. And
Yeah.
then I've spent 5 years fucking making a deal with the devil, trying to get just enough that I can still maintain
Yeah.
and not kill myself before I'm 50 from stress-induced heart attack.
Right. See, mine started around 15 or 16 when my bipolar symptoms started.
Mm.
So in high school, yeah, most people are like, high schoolers, you sleep more. No,
Right.
I slept less. I could get by on 4 hours just fine. So, and I was a night owl. So I would come home from school, do whatever chores or take care of my siblings or whatever I needed to do.
Yeah.
Do dinner. I could go up to my room, sleep for 4 hours, wake up, and then I'd be up the rest of the night into the next day. For like 3 years of high school, that's how I did it. It works for me, and it's just continued since then. I mean, I've had periods where I've slept better,
Yeah.
it's kind of the periods where I've slept better are smaller than the time frames where I've not had good sleep, so yeah, is what it is.
When I found out I was a morning person, I was so disappointed because I'm also a night person.
Yeah, I am not a morning person.
I like both. I like both. Both is good.
Now, see, I can wake up at like 4:35 a.m. and be awake for a good like 2 or 3 hours, but then I go back to sleep for another 2 hours. And if I can get that little 2-hour nap in like around 8 or 9, then I'm good. So yeah, I do like a little bit of the morning.
You're getting your secondary REM sleep, your secondary REM
Yeah,
cycle.
yeah.
So
I've learned long ago.
REM every 2 hours, and you need a solid REM cycle, which is 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and that's restorative. If you can get 2 of those,
Yeah.
And as my buddy John was like, I don't know how you do it because he tracked everything I did, and I had straps and everything. He's like, I don't know how you pull off 2 REM cycles in 3 hours, but you fucking do it. He's
So
like,
if
you're
I'm
a
sleeping an hour and 45 minutes,
That's 1 REM cycle.
it's 1. Yeah.
And then when you get that, if you can catch that nap, that just feels so
Okay.
goddamn refreshing. That's hitting your
Yeah.
second one, because you wake up and you're still in alpha wave, so you're still relaxed. So
Yeah.
then when you lay down, it goes straight to delta into REM. Then you'll catch that second wave, and then you'll wake up from that. And you'll be like, this is my optimal.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
most
why.
people's
Okay.
optimal is catching 3 to 4 REMs in an 8-hour period.
Consecutively. Yeah.
But if you get 2, you're gonna live. You'll live long enough to brag about it. If you get
Uh,
one, it's gonna be painful.
yeah, I have
Um,
those nights. I definitely have those nights
but
because I
it's
can
in
feel them. But I've learned, like,
Rebecca can tell when I need it too, because she'll
yeah,
call me in the morning. She's working out and she'll get done and call me, and it'll be like a Saturday, and I'll finally let myself wind down. And she's like, "Wow, you are out of it, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not really there. Yeah, I can't. I'm stuck in my office." She's like, "Good, stay there. I love you. Bye."
yeah,
Like sleep for
yeah.
God's sake, man.
I do, and because when I, especially right now when I'm having such, not getting that like nap in or anything, I'm getting just that one
Yeah,
set of anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I'm getting that one set. I'll go. Sometimes it can be as little as 4 or 5 days. Sometimes it could be as much as 2 or 3 weeks. And then I will have a crash day
yep,
where literally my brain and my body just shut the fuck down, like for anywhere from 12 to 16 hours.
yeah,
And I will sleep. I will not eat. I will barely drink anything. So therefore, I barely go pee because I'm not even getting up to do that. So
right.
it's just like my body definitely decides, yeah, I'm done. You put
Yeah.
me through enough hell right now. I'm shutting
Mhm.
down. And it does. And it's like there's no warning. I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes. Like as it's coming on.
Go
I'm like,
boo. Yeah,
oh,
you can
guess
feel the
what?
power. Yeah.
Yep. Guess what? I'm done. Yep. Okay. Do I need to make a phone call? Like I've got maybe time for like a phone call or a text of, hey, don't count on me today or maybe tomorrow. I'm done. And then
Yeah,
that's it. I'm out. Smoke a last cigarette because that's it for a while.
that's it.
So
Yeah, yeah. That would be
speaking of
like when
that's
I
it, it is 12:30.
let's get done with this shit.
Holy shit.
Oh, we got hypo and hyper. So what are we gonna do?
Woo, right?
All right, ladies and germs. Michelle Phelps Show. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yep.
All y'all who watch, pay attention. We actually had some good topics today, which are about health. Don't
Yes.
get fucked up. Don't get all fucked up on drugs. Get all fucked up on the
No.
Lord.
And
I used to
have
be
good
all fucked up on
hygiene, sleep
drugs.
hygiene.
Now I'm all fucked up on Jesus. Fine. Yeah, take Jesus. Lots of Jesus.
Ooh,
You're not gonna
yeah.
overdose. How to get what lean is, what scissor is, how to get fucking faded on promethazine and codeine. You'll have
But
fun.
let's not do that though.
Oh no, don't do that. How kratom
Yeah,
is
let's not do that.
it's seemed to be well documented, safe, legal alternative to those other things. But do your own research and seek medical professional help because I'm not it.
Absolutely.
Everything I'm telling you is anecdotal. And then sleep hygiene. There's a couple things that'll kill you. No vitamin C, you'll die. No salt, you'll die. No sleep, you'll die. You can live
Yes.
as long as you have, strangely enough, ascorbic acid. Who knew that was a trigger? Fucking salt and sleep. If you're not getting those three things, things will fall apart because that's what your system needs to fire. So try new things. That's what I say. If what you're doing now doesn't work, then fucking try something different.
Yep.
Try something new. Ask a friend. Ask around. Ask us.
Nothing's too far out of
If
the
you're like
box. Give
me,
it a shot.
get grounded. That works for me. I feel safer when I'm lower to the ground. I feel like I can relax when I'm not on guard. And I'm always on guard because I'm a type A psycho motherfucker.
I'm
That
gonna
being
try that.
said, I think I'm gonna sleep on the ground tonight. So
Me and my angelic light.
there you are. It's because you're an angel.
Bar.
Next time
Bar.
Thursday, Transplant Devil will be back to join us. We'll see. Is
Yes.
it gonna be sober and crabby? You're gonna be high, opening the ladder, not the first.
Right?
And then
Don't
finally,
know.
we're all hurtling towards our death at an incredible rate of speed, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. But along the way, you can slow it down a little bit. You can find some like-minded friends, people that you have things in common with, people who listen to you jibber jabber about crazy shit and tell you you're smart from time to time, or that's a good idea, or I enjoyed that. That's a good thing. That's what life is about. You don't rarely do members of the same family grow up under one roof. Remember that. You're gonna find your family everywhere.
I like that.
Don't stop looking. Yeah, motherfucker. So, what's it all about? It's all about love at the end of the day, right? It's all about
Yep.
love. So, you can't have love unless you love yourself first, right? But love one another, love yourself. Life is good.
That's it.
Have a good
Have a good night, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thursday, next time.
Yes, yay. Have fun. Get some sleep.